Good afternoon and welcome back to the Weymouth Cricket Ground. If you're seeing the pictures on your screen, we're in to over number 3 of what will be a very exciting contest between Barbados and Grenada. We want to apologise for the disruption earlier. There was an island-wide power outage here in Barbados, resulting in us having no pictures to show you. But we can tell you the result from the game this morning between Trinidad and Tobago and Antigua. And well, Trinidad and Tobago, they got home quite comfortably in the end. 97 for 3 they were after 11.2 overs, just chasing 94 Trinidad and Tobago. So that was the result of the match this morning. A loud appeal there, but not out, says the umpire. And we're in now to match number 2 of the day. Still beautiful conditions here. And the Barbados Police Service, they are 12 for 1. Grenada, they won the toss and opted to field first, as many teams have done since coming here to Weymouth. My name is Joel Manning, and alongside of me is Donovan once again. How are you doing this afternoon?
Not too bad, Joel. Nice to be back here, giving some commentary again after the stoppage we had earlier.
The voice of Donovan Lovell. If you don't recognize it, I'm sure many people across Barbados do. But a good start, you would have to say, for Grenada, pegging back Barbados Police Service. Barbados Police Service is the first time, I believe, they're batting first in this competition thus far. A new task, an interesting task for them.
Yeah, certainly. A good team, pretty good young players with some experienced guys in the mix as well. But this Grenada side has started quite beautifully in terms of their bowling, making it pretty difficult to score so far for the Barbadians.
We saw an interesting trend so far here at Weymouth in terms of toss. Win the toss, bowl first, and it has worked out in the favour thus far of, I believe, all the teams that have played here, whereby they've chased down the runs quite easily. In the end, I think back to Barbados yesterday, then Trinidad today. And we'll see if those stats and statistics favour Grenada as well.
Yeah, it's early in the morning time. Teams probably are going on the basis that there might be some early moisture batting second. With the sun out, as it is, it should be a little better, easier for batting.
Oh, takes the edge, but narrowly evades the diving hand of the keeper. And for fortuitous runs, you would have to say, for Kadeem Aline and the Barbados Police Service.
Yes, indeed. Keeper to his right, full stretch, could not reel that one in. Good delivery, a little bunks there. Seems to have outswung a bit. Yes, good delivery, and the keeper doing well, but just could not reel it in, so to speak. And as they would say in Bajan parlance, 4 runs in the dark.
Yes, certainly indeed. Getting quite lucky there, Kadeem Aline. But a good start from Grenada in terms of how they've gone about their work just far. Picking up the wicket of Mikel Stewart. A mix-up it was, and he went via the run-out route.
After driving the ball beautifully, it was really a shame that he had to go that way. But again, yes, no between the two batters. And in the end, police would not want to have a start like that, but it was unfortunate for young Stewart. He was out via the run-out route.
Well, starting things off was Nicholas Redhead, and pairing with him, Laurie Williams. It's Williams now to bowl left arm over the wicket towards Darrell Babb. 17 for 1 after 3. As we say, good afternoon once again to all here at Weymouth and all watching at home via their couch. Driven nicely, but can't get it past the fielder at mid-on. Still very beautiful windy conditions. I must say that the wind has been with us all day, making for a very cool day of cricket.
So far, the weather has been great out of this tournament, and it continues today, and that's good to see.
Bowled him. Well, the luck continues, the favour continues for Grenada. They pick up a wicket number 2. And Darrell Babb, he has to take that long walk back to the pavilion.
Indeed, it seems as though he, in terms of length to pull that ball, it was not there. Seemed a bit too full to play that cross-batted shot. and it was also on him in a hurry in terms of pace. He would have been well advised to stroke that one probably just down the ground, but cross battle shot, made no contact, it paid the price, and a promising start has ended for the young talented Darren Bob, and he makes his way back to the pavilion, no doubt dejected, wanting to do well, and really was looking good for the short time he was there. One who I've seen for a while and have been fortunate to be around in terms of local cricket, and he is indeed a talent. If he can just get everything in terms of ticking all the boxes right, I am sure that he can do well and also go further if he wants to. But unfortunate for him, 17 for 2 as Police have lost their second wicket.
Yeah, not the start that Barbados Police Service were looking for. Batters have served them well across the 2 games that they've played in this tournament. But as I mentioned, the first time that they're batting first, and they're under a bit of pressure. The new batter to the crease, Mario Albert. Darrell Babb went for 10 off of the 12 balls that he faced. And continuing in the fashion of that first over, Laurie Williams, he certainly has bowled quite well left arm over the wicket. Always presents a bit of a challenge, you would have to say, for the right-handed batters.
Certainly, especially early up with this ball shaping around, and you have to be very watchful and very patient early on. If he gives you anything, take it. If he doesn't, just play the ball in its merit.
Well, plays that one uppishly, and that is a fantastic shot. It makes its way into the boundary. So Albert is not messing around. That's his first boundary of the afternoon.
Certainly looking good, as I said. Play each ball on its merit. That one was fullish in length. He got onto the front foot, and he drove it beautifully back over the head of Williams into the boundary for 4. And he is one of these kind of batsmen. If the opportunity is there to score, I'm telling you, he's going to make sure he scores every opportunity he gets. So good-looking shot, and he's on his way.
Yeah, certainly a fantastic looking shot from him. Hit it through the line of that one, straight back over the bowler's head. A shot that you could probably watch time and time again. Pulls back the length, and this time a single to them. So looking quite positive at the start here, the Barbados Police Service. Quite a few teams have found themselves in problems at the start of their innings here at Weymouth. You're looking back at the 5 over spells. Antigua found themselves at 23 for 2. Cayman, they found themselves after 10 at 58 for 4. So a dot ball to close out. That over by Laurie Williams. A successful one for them, 22 for 2.
Yes, indeed. But getting back to what you said, that tells me then that if you bat early up, you bat high up, you're a little watchful, and you take what is given to you, not chancing your hand to give the field side early in the roads, and you can see through that first initial period that it gets easier. What is given to you on offer, you take. Don't try to force it, and I'm sure that once you get past that initial stage, then a good score would be at the end of all that hard work. But I must tell you, the Trinidadian side, going back to that game earlier, they bowl really well as a unit. They gifted little or nothing away, and they certainly deserve to have won that game. They played good and decent cricket.
They certainly played fantastic cricket, the Trinidad and Tobago, this morning. It was an exciting contest this morning, and another one shaping up here in the afternoon at Weymouth. Goes short, crunches that one, but there's a man back on the boundary. We realize that the ball has run quite well. And obviously, it's a very dry outfield. And the ball's been making its way around as long as if batters can pick the gaps. The 2 men out, a man at third man, and a man sweeping on the cover boundary for Redhead. It's been a bit expensive. His 2.1 gone for 18. And this time he's offline. And not where he would want to be. And to his third over now.
Yes, that one down the leg side, a gift really. I'm not sure if he's guilty of trying to bowl earlier too quickly, sort of looking to hit the good areas outside that off stump. But that one was pacey, but down the leg side and quite rightfully called the wide.
That's where he would want to be. And looking at the field that I mentioned earlier with that man at third man in the man sweeping on the cover boundary, you certainly don't want to be straying onto that leg. So just a short, fine leg in the circle, anything on that certainly would run away for four. So a good follow-up delivery, you would have to say, from Redhead on that occasion.
Yeah, based on the field, you would suggest, or I would suggest that he's intended to bowl just there or thereabouts around that off stump with the protection, with the man that slip, Gully and the sweeper man, the man sweeping on the cover boundary.
Well, that is smacked over mid-wicket, and it's gone for the maximum. That is 6 big ones to Kadeem Aline.
Indeed, a very good shot. Well, he's that type of player. As long as he's given the opportunity to score, just like Murray Arbor, that is what he's going to do. And the Grenadian side have to be careful because even though they've gone on the 2 early wickets, if they're not disciplined in their bowling, these 2 batters, I can tell you for sure, are going to take advantage of it. And when they both score, they score heavily, but not only heavily, they score quite quickly as well.
They certainly do score quite quickly, both batters at the crease in Aline and Albert. Very positive in nature, you would have to say. Quite a few have seen them across the local circuit here in Barbados. Well, it looks to be in the air, but it drops just short. And I have to say, good work there being done by Jeremiah. Just jumping and grabbing that one. Recently back from the regional first class tournament, playing for the Windward Islands Volcanoes. At one point during that final game versus Barbados Pride, I'm certain that Jeremiah and the boys thought that the championship would have been theirs. Probably looking to. And they get it quite comfortably.
That's good, intelligent batting. Good, intelligent batting. The opportunity came to struggle to the mid-wicket area. Good looking shot. Let's rip off the pads. I've gone for 2. So 2s, 1s, 3s along with the boundaries. All of those add up in the end. So good understanding between these 2 here as well. So good, intelligent batting once again.
Uppish, but no harm done to close out the 5th over after 5 at 33 for 2.
Yes, pretty varied over, you can say there, from the southern end, but the batsmen looking to capitalize, make sure every opportunity that comes to them, they're going to make sure that they score. As I said before, they're 2 attacking players by nature, and I'm telling you, as long as they can score, they will, and they look to be positive, and that's the good thing about it. The intent is always there to score. Then if it's a good ball, then obviously they look for the 1s and they look for the 2s. So good start so far.
Yeah, certainly a good start from them. Kadeem Aline 11 off of 7 and Albert 8 from 6. They've been kept quiet from the other end by Laurie Williams. Just 5 runs from his 2 overs, left arm over. The keeper standing up to the stump as well, presenting a bit of a challenge. Oh, this time he gets it out into the leg side. And there's a bit of a fumble and a misfield, and that results in a boundary for Kadeem Aline. Certainly not what the Grenada Police Force would want here today. Looking to keep the pressure on and to let it go there with a bit of a misfield.
think the Cardinals in there, taking your eyes off the ball, you just miss everything and easily pass his hands and into the boundary for a gift, more to, so to speak. One that the batsman didn't have to work too hard for at all.
Oh my goodness gracious me, that is fantastic. That is an exquisite shot off the bat of Kadeem Ali. I'd pay to see that one again.
I tell you, this guy is exciting. And that was indeed a magnificent shot. The ball pitched up, head over the ball, eyes in the direction of the shot, drove beautifully between cover and extra cover, and no one could move but to retrieve that one. Indeed, a magnificent shot by this youngster here. I'm telling you, once he can tick all the boxes, as I said, he is going to go places. A magnificent shot by Kadeem Ali, taking the score on to 41 for 2.
Yeah, the only thing better is probably a plate of Sunday food, you would have to say.
Oh, certainly, but that was absolutely delicious, if you have to describe it in terms of, I know you mentioned the Sunday lunch, absolutely delicious shot by Kadeem Ali.
Yeah, just over pitching, you would have to say, from Laurie Williams. That's the first boundary that he's let go for the afternoon. Well, he hit one and he said, make that a double. That one trickles into the boundary now. And Kadeem Ali, he is on the go.
The length is going to be important here. Again, up searching, a bit too full. And Kadeem just easing forward as easy as you can get it. And hitting that one back over the bowler's head for another boundary. So it seems like he's gone from first to second gear and straight into fifth. Young Kadeem Ali. And again, another good positive shot by this youngster.
Yeah, wasting no time at the creases, Ali this afternoon. Putting on a show for all the spectators that have come out here today to Weymouth to watch this exciting match between Barbados and Grenada. As the evening progresses, we do expect a couple more to come in as well. String in line, and we'll pay the price again. Won't get to the boundary. Signaled leg byes by umpire Sheena Welch. I recall the days of umpire Welch playing cricket back at YMPC. Coming in as a medium pace bowler.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of swing as well to it. A dot ball to close out an expensive over for Williams at the end of 5, 47 for 2.
Indeed, a very good over for the police side. Kadeem Ali and Mario Albert, two batsmen who are looking to be positive, and indeed a very good over for the police side, propelling them up to 47 for 2. And if it continues in this vein, you can expect a pretty decent score from this police team, Barbados Police Service, who bat pretty deep in this side. So if you can get anywhere near 70 or 80 with at least another 8 overs, so I'm telling you it could be trouble here in terms of a very high score for the Grenadians to chase. In actual fact, I'm just looking way ahead. Reality states that it's 47 for 2 at the moment.
Yeah, that's the score here at Weymouth. The only team that got a better start than Barbados would have been Trinidad and Tobago. They were 52 without loss after 5. So spin, the first signs of spin being introduced in a very nice afternoon sun. Daryl Cyrus into the attack now. Field restrictions now being let up. The man at mid-on and mid-off are not long on and long off. Man sweeping on the cover boundary. And then a man at deep square leg and a deep mid-wicket. Starts full and straight. And as you mentioned this morning, just looking to get a few in, get that spell going, and then look to probably vary it from there.
Certainly, but this one was a quick one in the block hole. Batsman couldn't score.
right arm over is Daryl Cyrus. Thought about one, doing the fielding on his own. So a very quiet 3 balls from Cyrus. Different to what we've seen in the previous over. To the delight, you would have to say, of those supporting Grenada here this afternoon. Look to pressure the fielder on that occasion. Yeah, running will be very important, you would have to say. Something that we've not seen teams do well across this tournament here at Weymouth.
With the exception of the Vincentian side, they were really, really good between the wickets when they played. The first game, the batters seemed to be accustomed to each other, especially the openers. Just played the ball on the outside, look at each other, and easily went through for their runs.
Yeah, it just helps that full toss out towards long on. They think about the second, and on the bubble, they get there. So a quiet over, you would have to say, given the context of what we've seen. That also brings up the 50 for the Barbados Police Service. It's 51 for 2 after 7.
But yes, generally spinners of the ball, they tend to want to see what is happening first in terms of the pitch, so they can determine what speed they should bowl at, the lengths that they should hit. So once you see most spinners just coming in and they bowl a couple balls, they might bowl as quick as possible, so that they can see the reaction off of the pitch. That will tell them then it's gripping, it's bouncing, whatever. So they will know then how to proceed in terms of the speed they should bowl at, their lengths and stuff like that. So it's always the safest way to go. So they weren't necessarily coming from ball one trying to spin the ball. But a quiet over, the 50's up, as you said. Pretty good start by the Barbados Police Service team. I'm seeing in the distance is going to be a change in bowling from the northern end.
Certainly will be a change from this northern end. Nicholas Redhead has been replaced with Johan Jeremiah. Johan Jeremiah. So in looking to keep things quiet, Grenada have opted to a double change, a double spin. Feel well spread for Jeremiah. Starts with a wayward on down the leg side, and that will run away into the boundary, clipped away very nicely by Kadeem Aline. That adds 4 more to his total.
Yes, easy shot, full delivery. Simply came inside this wicket and just helped it down behind fine leg, and he got 4 easy, gifted runs to Kadeem Aline.
Goes into the surface, something that we've seen a lot of the bowlers do here to Weymouth, just opting to see what the surface has for them. There's a bit of bounce on offer for the bowlers this morning. Well, he gets a good chunk of that, and it finds its way into the boundary. So the runs keep coming for Barbados Police Service and Kadeem Aline.
That's indeed a very good shot. Got to the pitch of it, ball given some flight, and he got close to it. As long as you get close to it, you can control your shot. And he hit that one through the middle area rather easily, Half another 4.
Yeah, with the wind blowing this direction, you have to think that everything favors his swing of Kadeem Aline towards this leg side. The flag's fluttering. Pulls back that length, does Jeremiah, outside of the off stump, but can't prevent two. So the good running continues from the two young men at the crease in Aline and Albert.
That's good intelligent batting, good cricket. You struck the boundary. The length was adjusted, but still a little too short. And he was able to punch that one to the sweeper at cover. And they came back for an easy two. Good batting by the pair from the Barbados Police Service.
So a slight adjustment in the field for Jeremiah. You have to think that the man on the cover boundary, given the distance out there, probably could take a couple steps in to maybe prevent the possibility of a two. You probably can't tell yourself that they're going to get up towards cover with any real ferocity with the wind that's blowing at the moment.
Well, he would need to quickly move off his line in terms as soon as the ball is played to the left for cover and try to prevent those two.
A bye to close out the 8th over. 11 runs coming from that one. 63 for 2.
Yes, a recovery, so to speak, by the Barbados Police Service after losing Bob and Stewart quite early. These two, Mario Albert and Kadeem Aline, doing a semi, as you would say, repair job. And so far, they're doing it and doing it quite well.
Yeah, they certainly have the tools for the job at the moment. 35 from 19, Aline. He's been leading the charge for Barbados. Striking at 184. It's going to be Cyrus to continue, just the 4 runs from his first over. The quietest of the lot thus far. Once again, a good early call results in a single for this pair. Just asking the man at deep square leg to come a bit to his left. Aline slaps this one straight back over the bowler's head. Good bunks into the hands of the man at long off. We've seen 1 or 2 unfavorable bunks for the fielders at time. But a good one for him there at long off on that particular occasion. A bit of a mix-up. And it nearly spelt trouble. Instead, it will be a single for them. It would have been the 2nd run out for the innings there.
Yeah, certainly a near miss. Kadeem Aline looking to go through for that single, and Mario Albert obviously not on the same page as Kadeem and almost causing him to give his wicket away via the run-out route.
Go short and into the surface. And still keeping things quiet here is Cyrus. Just 3 runs, or rather 4 off this over so far. Well, he tries to get all of that. And he does successfully. Another boundary for the Barbados Police Service. This time, Mario Albert.
Ball given some air. He's still on the inside of the ball and struck that one high over cover. The fielder at long off trying to get around could not, and indeed it just sped away into the boundary for another 4.
From the time it hit the surface, it just sped away. That's the end of 9. 71 for 2.
Just that boundary really spoiling the over. somewhat, but before that he was going quite okay. But I want to give him some air, and he had the arms so he can free them, and he played a good-looking shot over cover for, as I said, another boundary, Mario Albert, who is one who is going to take every opportunity to score once it is given to him, and the Barbados Police Service, looking pretty good at this stage after losing the two early wickets of Bob and Stewart, 71 for 2. A recovery somewhat.
Yeah, this pair is certainly looking fantastic. 11 for 1, 17 for 2, now 71 for 2. So a partnership of 54 between this pair. Certainly setting the platform and setting the base for what could be a launch at the back end, given who Barbados Police Service still have to come. Bowled him! So he's been brought into the attack to pick up the wicket, and Jeremiah does just that.
That one seemed to keep a bit low, but the good thing about it, it was on target, and Kadeem Aline could only try his best to keep it out. To know, as you see, kept a bit low, but it was on target, and that has seen the demise of good attacking innings for young Kadeem Aline.
Yeah, certainly was a fantastic innings for him coming in when Barbados Police Service were in a bit of trouble. He got them out of the hole, and even though he was disappointed to go, I guess you could almost say he could be happy with the fact that he got at 37 and in quick time, off of 22 deliveries. The score now 71 for 3. A new batter coming out now for Barbados, Dario Sargent. He can certainly give it a whack as well.
Yes, good steady batter, solid in the defense, good stroke play as well. So as I said before, this Barbados Police Service side, they bat pretty deep. There's still the evergreen Larry Bob, who is in the hat still to come. One that we know who could be very dismissive, who can change it from one over to the next quite quickly. So there's a bit of length in this batting, the Barbados Police Service side.
Yeah, certainly batting to come. But if you're supporting Grenada, you are in hunt of wickets. It's 71 for 3. The platform is set for a launch, and they'll be hoping that they can pull things back, just keeping low on Kadeem Aline there. It was quicker, it was flatter, it was wicket to wicket, and he lost his entire base on that particular occasion as well.
Yes, but we must give credit also to the Grenadian side, who are sticking to the task. They're still diving around in the field, and they're still trying their best to pick up wickets. And so they're not giving up. They're not going to say, come on, we're going to just give up and die. And they're going to fight and fight to the end. So it promises to be an exciting finish here. As I look through my side here, I was telling you earlier, the likes of Padmore and Seal, good in to come. These guys who can give it a good whack. So it promises to be an exciting end here to this innings.
The pressure continues to be applied by Jeremiah and Grenada. He went for 11 in his first, picked up a wicket off the first ball in his second, now a dot ball to follow that up. And another dot ball follows it as well. So a good start, you would have to say, to the 10th over for Grenada. It's just now to close it out. Can he close it out? They're looking for 2. A bit of a fumble, but they do often say try not to run off of the misfield.
Yeah, I want to take this opportunity just not only to say A pleasant good day to all the Grenadians, but my good friend Junior Murray, who was my teammate at one stage when he was here playing for Banks in the local Division 1 competition. Good afternoon to you, Junior.
Leans back and can't get that past the man at point. Just one delivery, no left, until we get to the halfway stage of this innings. And he closes it out in the manner that he would like to. So after 10, Barbados Police Service 73 for 3.
Yes, I would say even Stevens at this time. After losing those early wickets, they consolidated and they got up to the present score of 73. But the Grenadians in the meantime would have gotten 3 wickets, and the vital one of Kadeem Aline, no doubt looking to make further inroads to try to see how best they can keep the Barbados Police Service side down to maybe under 130.
Yeah, just some 26 runs coming in the last 4 overs for the Barbados Police Service. So I think that Grenada could be relatively happy in looking at those numbers and the fact that they're starting to just slowly pull things back in their favor. Of course, they say that wickets help, and hoping to probably take a wicket here will be Daryl Cyrus. He's into his 3rd over now. In fact, a bowling change from that south end. The new bowler is Shondell Regis. A lovely looking shot. Might think about pressuring for 2. But good work out there at long off. So slowly but surely, Grenada getting into their work and applying just a bit of pressure to the Barbados side. At one stage, you probably told yourself that Barbados were looking on course maybe for something like maybe a 150, 160.
Oh yeah, they were simply cruising, but as you said, wickets tend to stem the flow of runs.
We're into that stage as well where you can have quite a few more fielders on the boundary, and it's always a case of how do batters then approach this scenario, because the boundaries aren't coming and you must turn towards turning over the strike a lot more. A loud appeal, but the umpire says not out. No edge on that.
Joel, I think once the field after the first 6 overs a spread, then you look to hit your gaps. You work out your angles, you hit your gaps, you get your ones, you get your 2s until the bad ball comes along.
Well, a wide on that occasion. Doesn't get all of that one. Just a single, so the thing's still quiet. The end of 11 is 79 for 3.
Yes, 79 for 3 after 11. If you bat from here right down to the, let me say the 15th, taking your 1s, taking your 2s, and the occasional 1 or 2 bad delivery would come in, then you can easily still be scoring at a decent rate, which in the end then you could obviously with your final dash get up to anywhere in the area of 160, 170, which would be a good total.
Beautifully placed. Just results in a single for Dario Sargent. An almighty heave at that one from Myra Albert. In terms of how flat Jeremiah has been bowling, probably a better option to go up and down.
It's true. That one hit that one straight down the ground.
Yeah, not really giving it much air here is Jeremiah. You can definitely understand, especially given the wind direction. And that wind favouring the leg side for the right-handed batters at the crease at the moment.
So he's bowling quite flat, pushing it through more or less, not giving you the opportunity to get under the delivery to strike it down the ground.
Gets back onto that one. Sargent running positively. Just another single to the total. Probably looking at stages at this point. Where will we be at 15 overs? What type of platform will we have to launch from? Things just moving up and down in ones for the Barbados Police Service. If you were Grenada, you would certainly be happy at this stage, especially given how things were looking with Kadeem, Aline, and Albert at the crease. So it's been an over of singles. And with that one, it kicks us now to 83 for 3 after 12.
Yes, Joel. We tend to think once you're playing T20 cricket and the boundaries are not coming, that you have to try to find a manufacture a 6 or 4. But if you hit the good ones for the singles or for the twos, then when the bad one comes along, you're in good stead. So you don't necessarily have to go because you face 3 dot balls. Decide, you know what, I've faced 3 dot balls now, I must hit the boundary. And that's where we're losing it, not only here, but at certain levels of the T20 cricket. You can hit 4 or 5 singles, 6 singles, and you can make up in the back end. I find that's one of the areas that we're certainly, mostly in our T20, struggling in, Joel.
Signal wide by umpire Shamar Boyce. One of the young umpires that we have here on the circuit in Barbados. Alongside him from Trinidad, Candace Laborde. Gets past the man at cover, but good work getting around to his left, that long off. Keeps it to another single. So the momentum has really been taken out of the innings for the Barbados Police Service at the moment. It's still going along nicely. The platform still there.
I really don't mind this at all. This is not a bad tactic at this point. They get in their ones easily, they get in their twos. No doubt the scoreboard is ticking over after every delivery, and that is important.
Yeah, certainly quite important when you look at it and think about the scenario that could happen should they not lose any more wickets before we get to over number 15. And I run a ball, you probably have to tell yourself that they're probably anywhere around 110, 115 or so. And with those to come, the type of onslaught that could ensue from there.
It's true. He likes a Larry Bob. You still have Padmore, Seal, who can strike a mighty blow as well. So there's still depth in this Barbados Police Service side.
A good running once again by Barbados. This being their home ground, they certainly know it well, certainly know the angles. The end of 13 overs here to Weymouth. 7 overs remaining. The score 87 for 3. A few more spectators have made their way into Weymouth, enjoying the lovely cricket on offer in this regional police tournament. It's been nice to see people coming out and watching the cricket.
Oh, certainly. Beautiful to see the spectators out. The support here has been massive for most of the teams. And some people are doubling up to make it a family outing while they get him some good, exciting cricket. It's really a joy to see.
We do expect a few more to come in this evening. Signal the wide there by the umpire as we get closer, though, to what should be the grand finale. Well, he's gotten a bit of that. He's gotten all of that. And it's riding a bus to the transport board.
That's indeed a massive shot. I've gone rows back. Mario Albert, I tell you, one who can spike it and hit it pretty hard. Got close to that one, swung through the ball. It's gone all the way for a magnificent shot. And I tell you, if he stays there for another 2 overs or even 3, the police service, Barbados Police Service, can find himself at a very good score here coming on to the end of this innings.
Yeah, certainly. Just giving a bit of air on that particular occasion from Jeremiah. Changing from what he's been bowling, you'd have to say, as his mainstay deliveries. And Albert equal to the task. For those watching, you heard me mention the transport board. Well, that is our bus system. The home of that is just located to the right of our commentary position.
But again, Joel, good intelligent bowling. Once he's bowling flat, both Mario and Dario are using the pace of the ball, steering the ball to third man, hitting it between cover and extra cover, and they're running. Now he flighted this one a little more air, and Mario in the approved fashion got close to it and swung lustily and went away for a maximum. So good intelligent batting, good bowling too by the Grenadians, who for most parts are bowling well, and they're electric in the field. So this is good cricket all around.
Yeah, certainly good cricket on display here by the two teams. As I mentioned, Albert equal to the task on that occasion and helped with the wind as well. It's been strong winds all day here at Weymouth, providing some relatively cool conditions out there for the players and cool conditions for us here in the commentary position as well. It was a tad hot yesterday afternoon, but the only heat is the action out there in the middle, and the ball has come back. It has paid its bus fare and made its way back now onto the ground, into the hands of Jeremiah to continue. He's gone for 24 from his 3.1 overs so far. Umpire just doing the mandatory check of the ball to ensure that it's still in good standing, good shape. Hasn't been distorted or disturbed in any way, having hit onto the buses and onto the concrete surface over to the right of where we are currently. Looks as if we'll have a substitute fielder coming on as well. Someone just picking up a bit of an injury. Well, he tries to go again. And it falls agonizingly. Safe. Jeremiah was in hot pursuit of it. He let down the handbrake and sprinted after that one. But just talking about that wind once again, it went high. And the wind just carrying it as well a bit. Taking it away from the grasp of Jeremiah. And they come back for two. Takes Albert now into the 30s. He's on 31. A lot of space out there in that offside, meaning that it was an easy two. In the end, takes score up to 98 for 3 now. We're into over number 14. 13.3 overs have been bowled in this innings by Grenada. Well, what goes up must come down. When it comes down in the car park of Weymouth Cricket Club, that's a massive shot there by Albert. That is the 100 up for Barbados Police Service as well.
A beautiful shot there by Mario Albert. Ball given some air again, and he got close. The important thing, he got close to the delivery and swung lustily for a massive 6 here again. And amazing, with all of these cars in this car park, not one was in danger of being struck. Let's hope it remains like that. I don't want to put any curse on it. But again, a very beautiful shot here by Mario Hart, who at this stage, himself and Dario Sargent have decided it's probably the right time to go.
Well, he's certainly been eyeing up the leg side all afternoon long. The angle favors him as well, with the right arm overcoming from Jeremiah. Fires that one in. A welcome dot ball, a rare dot ball, a dot ball of gold, you would have to say. The crowd has certainly been energized by those 2 sixes off the bat of Albert. And in good cricket fashion, this works that one for a single to close out over number 14. At the end of it, 105 for 3.
Certainly the good over for the Barbados Police Service side. Mario Albert and Dario Sargent looking to push on with the 6 overs remaining. Obviously, the Grenadian police side looking to restrict them as much as possible. As you see, they are sending their field meticulously to make sure they can cut as much of the run flow down, trying to see if they can restrict the Barbados Police Service to a score which they should be easily be able to chase. 105 for 3 after 14.
Well, Regis continues. He's into his 3rd over, starts it with a single. We questioned where Barbados side might find themselves after 15. We threw up numbers of 110 and 115. They're currently 106 for 3. It flies off the edge. No man in that area. And that's going to be 4 more for Barbados.
That one given some whiff. He drove at it, the outer part of the bat, and as you know, you would imagine by now, the ball runs off here at this Weymouth facility quite quickly, and it certainly sped across the outfield. And a welcome boundary again, another one for the police, our police service side, and to Dario Sargent.
I can only find the man positioned down at cow corner on that particular occasion. The runs have certainly been flowing. They had a period where they were working it around. Now they've started to pick up that pace as we get into what we call the business end, the back end of things in the T20. The platform has been set for them. And you'd have to think that anytime now, anytime soon, It's going to be a lot of swinging going down out there.
Certainly, with wickets in hand, guys who are capable of scoring quickly, you must go for broke at this stage.
It's been a good quiet.
And Joel, as I said before, when the bowling is pretty tight, pretty good, and those middle overs, you can find your ones and twos with occasional bad delivery, you get in the boundary, keep the scoreboard ticking over, you can certainly make up in the back end. It does not mean that if you don't score 3 or 4 runs in 4 balls, you automatically have to try to hit a 6 to give your hand away, and that's where we need to certainly get it started.
Yeah, unaware of the bounce on that particular occasion, the man at short cover. And it results into just popping up off the shoulder. Heading into the offside. So 15 overs gone. Barbados Police Service 115 for 3.
Yes, indeed. 15 overs, 5 left, 5 that they can actually, with 7 wickets in hand, certainly have a dash, as they would say, towards the end of this innings.
Well, Donovan, that's the end of my stint. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Mr. Andrew Mason.
Thank you, Joel. Always a pleasure having you at my side as I welcome, as I keep saying, I don't know how he's doing it, but the evergreen, the never aging Mr. Andrew Mason.
Well, it's because I jog in the morning, you see, when you were fast asleep at 5:30 in the morning. But this, to me, is an interesting game in that perhaps the most competitive I've seen so far, and I've just been doing some homework on the Grenadans, and I've discovered that actually a lot of these policemen have actually represented Grenada, and 2 of them have represented the Windwards. So, and it is really showing in what we've seen so far. 115 for 3, 5 overs left. Barbados, having lost 2 wickets early, will be looking to these 2 experienced cricketers to try to get them up to maybe 160, but we shall see. In the meantime, it's going to be Darrell Cyrus to continue. He's bowled 2 overs for 11 runs. Alberta's looked solid on 44. Captain Sargent is on 12. Here we go. Over number 16. Heron Campbell and Roland Cato. I'm sure you know that name. Would have played for the Windwards. And now, in terms of people like Jeremiah, Regis, Cyrus, Redhead, they've all played for Grenada. So they've got the experience. And they've done a good job in that Barbados' rate is below 8, 7.65. That's 7.57 after that dot ball. And they've really been up to the task here. Just a single. The fielding has been good as well. I think they've done a good job. They won the toss, Grenada, and decided to insert Barbados. And Barbados losing wickets early. Bab making 10 and Stewart 1. Aline got 37. With Larry Babb to come, one would want, I would think, from a Barbados perspective, to get him in. You wouldn't want to play a 20-over game and Babb is in the pavilion. So it's a matter now of these 2 trying to go into 2nd or 3rd gear. Runs for Barbados, 1, possibly 2. Sargent is struggling a bit, not as fit as he used to be, but comes back for the 2nd. So this is a happy hour. Barbados will want now to score as many runs as possible. When you look into your crystal ball, what are you seeing in terms of a possible score?
I'm seeing 150.
150. All right. So we shall see. 1 ball left in over number 16. Cyrus will want to finish strongly. Barbados will want to get a boundary here. Here we go. Well, that looked pretty close to being a wide. And in fact, Albert can't believe it, that wasn't given a wide by the umpire. But at the end of over number 16, Barbados inserted 120 for 3.
Yes, Andrew. Looking pretty good in the back end. Albert, this has been a magnificent knock by him. And we know what he's capable of. Very aggressive batsman who loves to score. Sargent, who has been a good foil for him. And they also have been running quite beautifully between the wickets. But at this time, I would imagine with 4 overs left, they will want to push on as quickly as possible, get as much runs as possible to see if they can get up to at least 150, 160 runs. But I must say I'm very impressed with the work of the Grenadians. They have been beautiful in the outfield. They have been attacking the ball, running around, cutting the balls off here and there. And I'm very impressed with this Grenada side so far.
Yeah. In fact, what we've seen so far in this competition, Barbados, of course, with players that we know very well. I like the looks of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada as well. First of all, a lot of them look very fit. And the feeling has been good. Trying to restrict Barbados down to 150 here. Good tumbling save again. That's good cricket. That's the kind of stop that you would want to show some of the West Indies cricketers. Someone like a Smith from Jamaica. Doesn't seem to get moving. And he's a Jamaican, the land of speed. That's a good hit. That's a very good hit indeed. Very well played indeed. It goes for 4. A welcome boundary for the Barbados Police Service. It was on the leg stump. And up towards my wicket. That's gone for 4. Well played, Sargent.
Yeah, short answering to be hit. And Sargent did just that. And he got a reward for it.
Yeah, it was on the leg stump. And hit it very well indeed. Dropping just in front of the boundary.
Just inside the boundary for 4.
So Grenada looking to peg Barbados back here as we come down to the business end of this innings. Who opens the batter? Now that's gone in the air and it's floored. Well, well, well. We were praising them for their fielding, but it went up towards square leg and Redhead. Oh my golly. Got his head wrong there, Redhead. And the fast ball in the side would have played for Grenada. Wouldn't like to see that on Primetime Sports on GBN tonight, I can assure you. Should have taken that. More runs for Barbados. They'll come back for the second and they'll get it comfortably. So this is a happy hour. They would want to try and score it, I would think, a minimum of 10 per over now. And that's the 50 for Albert. Well done. 50 from 41 balls. 4 in terms of boundaries, 2 6s and 2 4s. Good knock from Murray Albert, who would have represented the Barbados team in football as well. Again, very good fielding indeed. Up at that long off area. Excellent fielding. Cyrus up there making a good start. Coming right across. It was hit powerfully. And over in which how many runs came? Just double checking. Just to tell you how many runs came from that over. 10 came from the over. So we've now completed 17 Barbados to 130 for 3.
Indeed, excellent work in the outfield here by the Grenadians as they continue to be magnificent in the field. But again, a very well played 50 here by Mario Albert. Not only aggression, but just a dash of common sense, a sprinkle of patience, and they got him to a very good landmark. He took the singles when they were given to him, and when he got the loose ball, he dispatched it in the approved fashion. And for him, indeed, a very good knock for himself and for his team. So well played to Mario Albert.
But it's 130 for 3 now, and 3 overs are left. If they get 10 per over, then they get to 160. But we'll be looking maybe closer to 170 here. Let's see what happens. Cyrus to continue. Now that's a chance for a catch. Not taken. And instead, it goes away for 6. Well, 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 we were praising the Grenadians. That went down the throat of the fielder at mid-wicket, Williams. And he did not live up to his name at all there. Williams, of course, is a cricket name. Let's have a look at that. Swung away down towards mid-wicket. Oh, my golly. I would have caught that. And it went over his head, and that's gone for 6. What a good start for Barbados to the 18th over. Very good comeback by Cyrus, pulling the ball down, didn't give it a lot of air at all. Albert played across it, so that's a precious dot. Just a single. So he's come back very well after the first ball was struck for 6. The last 2 just producing 2. So there are 3 left in the over. Barbados have been able to get 8 so far. From the over they need a boundary. The Grenadians looking to keep it tight. Just a single. Just a single. This is a good comeback. The first ball produced 6. And the next 3 just singles. Albert has got the strike back. Another good piece of fielding coming in, making the save. So this is good cricket. The first ball, some 6 runs came, but now we've had the next 4 singles. So just 10. An over that promised so much at the beginning. Last ball of the over. Now that's it with tremendous power. That's gone for 4. Something had to give. Beautifully played by the captain, using his feet, hitting that ball wide of that long on area. That's splitting the field at deep mid-wicket and long on. That's gone for 4. An over in which 14 runs came with 2 to come. Barbados to 143 for 3.
A good over indeed for the Barbados Police Service side. Dario Sargent, who's quite capable of scoring and scoring quickly. He showed you by the shot he played, his ability as well. He did that one beautifully, splitting the man like long on and deep mid-wicket, who could not get around. And indeed a fantastic shot by Sargent. 143 for 3. 2 overs remaining. As they say, anything goes at this time. Happy hour. We started a few overs ago.
Yeah, well, Redhead has got 1 left. Williams has got 1 as well. And interesting name, Laurie Williams. Of course, there used to be a Laurie Williams who played for Jamaica, the medium pacer. And there's a Laurie Williams playing for the Grenada Police Force. Well, interesting. All right, 2 to come. Albert firmly entrenched on 59. Sargent, they stay with him on 24. They've added 72 for wicket number 4. But I would think that Barbados will feel at this stage, with 2 to come, that they could be maybe 10, 15 runs short of what they were looking for. Maybe enough, but you never know. Here we go. We start over at number 19. And it's Redhead. More runs for Barbados. Will that skid away down towards the boundary? The legs of the ball, good. And it gets there. That's gone for 4. Outside edge. Down to third man. Could not be pulled back. That's gone for 4. So good start to over number 19.
Yes, Andrew, I'm finding it strange that in the 19th over, with 2 batsmen that are set, that you would opt for a slip at this stage instead of protecting your boundary, which would be your third man as he is making the adjustment now.
Yeah.
I was just a bit surprised to see in the 19th over with 2 batsmen who were set, you actually employed a slip.
Well, they now got the third man oh, I'd say 10, 15 meters inside. So you're right about that. But a good start for Albert. That's good bowling. The thing about that delivery was it was slower. He was deceived by a change of pace. Of course, the slow ball is used so much in cricket, has been very effective. But long ago, there was a man from Barbados called Franklin Stevenson, nicknamed Cookie Monster, who certainly bowled that slow ball with great effect.
In my opinion, the best slow ball I've ever seen.
Just a single. So after a boundary off the first ball, the next two producing one, same pattern as the last over. Barbados were able to get a boundary off the last. But the rate has gone to 8, interestingly, and Barbados 2 runs shy of 150. Now that's gone. Well played indeed by Sargent. Badly lined and put away, down to backward square. Well played. Welcome boundary. And it has brought up the 150 for the Barbados Police Service as well. Good crowd gathered here, as was the case on the opening day and Sunday. Barbados, the defending champions in this competition, whipped away. It was badly lined. Meat and drink, really. So 2 fours in the over. Still 2 to come. Now what will Redhead do now? He's caught the square leg just behind the umpire and a short fine leg as well. That's in the air. Let's see what happens. The catch is taken. So, success for Redhead. Captain Sargent goes, caught up at the wicket. And Regis taking the catch, couldn't drop that. But Sargent has come out and has done his job. 28 from just, 24 balls. Would have wanted a better strike rate, I would imagine. But let's watch that. Keeping his eyes on the ball, taking the catch just inside the boundary of the wicket. In over number 19, Barbados, a 152 for 4.
Sandra, under the circumstances, a pretty good knock by Dario Sargent. He got together with Mario Albert at a time when they needed partnership, and they batted really well together, taking the ones, the twos, and pouncing on anything loose. So in the context of the game, I would say a pretty decent knock. And this brings now the hard-hitting Larry Babb to join Mario Albert.
Always a bit of an interesting situation. They lost 2 wickets very early, and that perhaps might have been in the thinking in terms of having Babb come, because you really would want perhaps your most destructive cricketer to have, I would think, at least about 5 overs. But the circumstances warranted maybe a reconstruction of the innings, having lost 2 wickets. But he comes out at a time when he can still throw the bat around. But I'm always intrigued as to placements in terms of batting positions. Certainly, someone like Ravindra Prasad must bat her in the BVI side. Anyhow, Babb takes his first ball and drives. Goodness gracious, the shot of the day. What a shot, through extra cover, like a shot from a gun. Oh, anyone would have been proud of that. That's why he is so dangerous. Beautifully struck through the extra cover area. Very well timed. Have a look at that. And actually using his feet to the medium pacer. And that was hit with tremendous disdain. Powerfully as well. And that's what Larry Babb can do. 1 to come. Barbados 156 for 4.
First ball, Andy, and when you can strike your first ball as powerfully and as confident as that, it tells me that this is signs of what is to come from Larry Babb. As I keep mentioning, a very exciting, attacking cricketer who has the ability, by the blink of an eye, to be disruptive to any bowling team.
Yeah.
So as
But, I mean, when you look at that shot, maybe we can bring it again. I'm sure that our cameramen, they've got the ability to do it. But that was very well played indeed. Stroking the ball through the extra cover area. Let's have a look at that. Little shimmy down the pitch when he gets there, drive in. Beautifully played with surgical precision. Any doctor would have been proud of that. And it rests across the outfield. Very well timed, very well placed. And for me, the shot of this tournament so far. What a shot. All right, we're down to the last over. Grenada, having picked up 2 wickets early, saw the reconstruction, the innings from Barbados, and now, with 1 to come, what do you think? Barbados 156 for 4, what do you think they'll be looking for here?
the least amount of run they should be looking for from this last over is about 12, 14.
Okay, so you're looking maybe around 170 possibly? 170. With the Bab to come. And it's interesting because, I mean, you lost 2 wickets early. Kadeem Allen at 3, Albert at 4, Sargent at 5. Possibly Bab might have come there. But, you know, it's something that they got to work out, the policemen, because you need to get Bab in. There's no doubt about that. Man who would have represented the Barbados side.
I think what would have happened with Dario coming at that stage probably was to consolidate.
Right.
And
Right.
then, you know, the back end then, Larry would have probably just come and finished, but the finishing touches.
The problem is at the back end, just a couple of balls left.
It's true.
Because when you look at the work of Darius Sargent, 28 from what? 25 balls, 4 fours. You would want to do a bit better than that, but of course he did this thing. He's the captain. So we're down to the last over, and it's going to be bowled by Josh Thomas. Yeah, Josh Thomas, of course, that's the name that you should know. Would have played for the Windwards. So this is a side that has got players that would have represented the Windwards and Grenada. So it's not a side to muck about with. You have to watch Grenada, the Spice Isle. Here we go, last over. Here's Josh Thomas. Just a single. Now I think Bab would have wanted maybe to keep the strike there, but they certainly would have had a second. So whether or not to let Albert Firmly and Trench come back for that second and keep the strike, but in the end, Bab decides, no, I am going to take him on. So the first ball of the last over cost him just 1. Good start for Grenada here. Barbados would love to get, I would imagine, close to maybe 165, 170, but we shall see. Beautifully bowled, right in the block hole. Using all of his experience when he played for the Windwards, bang on target. So good start for the Grenada Police Force. First 2 balls producing just 2. 4 balls are left. So the skid very close to the ball. We'll have the legs to get there, goes for 4. Well, that's a typical T20 shot for not the type they'll invite the schoolboys to see, but it was effective. Swung across the line, got a lot of bat into it, skidding away down to 3rd man unprotected. That's going for an important boundary. And Barbados go past 160, the 162 for the loss of 3, with 3 to come. They possibly could get to that 170 that you were talking about.
It's certainly looking that way. But you need a little luck, not only luck, but there's the back end. And so anything at all that you can get, you're going to take it. No matter however it may come, Andrew.
Yeah, there was Thomas taking the pace out of the ball again, but it found a meaty edge and went down to 3rd man for 4. Swing and a miss. A swing and a miss. The important thing was that there was a bit more pace in that delivery, so he's using the variations quite well. Just 2 to come now. The bets are on. Scores are saying Barbados will get 165. You say one what?
170.
170. Miss Prescott says they'll make 180, but we throw that through the window. Joel Manning says they'll get to 170. We shall see. The bets are on. Two to come. 162 for 4. Here's Thomas to Albert. Now where's that gone? That's gone for 4. Down to backward square. Offline and punished.
The ball is
And a no ball as well. Further punishment. How can you do that? Oh my golly. Oh, that's not right at all. A no ball. So what it means now is that Barbados have 2 deliveries and the score has gone to 167 for 4. Down to backward square. Important runs here for Barbados.
That was badly lined. Easy for the batsman. Just came inside and
Yeah.
clipped it.
And let's see what he will do with the free hit here. So free hit is on offer. What will he do with this free hit? Here we go. Flat batted. That's splitting the field. That's going for 4. That's what you do with a free hit. Very well played indeed by Albert. He's really doing a wonderful job and would be impressing all of his fellow police officers, and the commissioner of police who was here yesterday took a picture with the members of the team. Came yesterday. And this has been a very, very good performance by Barbados. So just 1 to go now. It's 171 for 4, so they've gone past that 170 that you were thinking of. So 1 to come now. What will Mr. Thomas do here? He has not been at his best in this over. The experience of playing for Grenada, playing for the Windwards as well. Final ball. Just a single, a bit of an anticlimax as that ball was on the pads, looking to whip it away, and it goes into the offside for just a leg by. But a good effort on the part of Mario Albert, who certainly came out at the time when his team was in a bit of strife, and he ends on 77 not out from 55 balls. In terms of fours, he had some 6 of them and 3 sixes, and Barbados, after being 22 for 2 at the end of over number 20 with a rate of 8.60, 172 for 4.
Indeed, a very good score by the Barbados Police Service, but a very impressive knock from Mario Albert, one who is by nature aggressive, but we saw during this knock, he also displayed some soft hands in terms of getting the ones and getting the twos as well, and once it was in his art to score, he did that, and he did it quite beautifully. But earlier, young Kadeem Aline, he also played a magnificent knock. We know of his ability. We know he's a talent, and it was really, really nice to see Aline getting a score. Even though they lost Babas Shore early, then they came together. Mario Albert and Dario Sargent, and together they complemented each other wonderfully, and they had a partnership of over 50 with good common sense batting, and a very, very impressive showing from the Barbados side.
All right, in terms of the bowling, well, Redhead towards the end got a bit of tap, getting a wicket. Williams was very tight indeed, 1 for 17, and Jeremiah, a bit expensive, 1 for 35. But Barbados, towards the back end of the innings, were superb, and they will feel that having been 22 for 2, to reach 172 for 4 represents a pretty strong position for them. The Grenada side looking pretty good indeed. As I told you earlier, they've got players who have played not only for Grenada but for the Windwards. In fact, Aaron Campbell would have played for the Windwards, Roland Cato, and Josh Thomas. He's also played for the Windwards. And for Grenada, Regis, an opening batsman, leg spinner Cyrus, Redhead, a fast bowler. They've all represented the Spice Isles. So it's a pretty good team. They look pretty fit as well. And this competition is shaping up quite nicely. We've seen Barbados looking aggressive, looking good. I like the looks of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and now seeing Grenada for the first time, they look pretty impressive indeed. All right, so the news then, the Grenada Police Force winning the toss and electing to field Barbados from their 20 overs, 172 for 4, with a tremendous knock coming from Mario Albert, who would have represented Barbados in football as well. So he knows about scoring. And my golly, 77 from just 55 balls, 6 fours and 3 sixes. Kadeem Aline, he made 37. And Barbados were able to recover quite nicely to make 172 for 4. So the magic number for the Grenada Police Force is 173. We're going to take a break and come back in about 10 minutes or so. Please join us then. Leon, yeah, log on at 10 minutes past 6 o'clock. 10 minutes past 6. If you want to look back at your career, I've already informed the stations in Guyana as well. And I'm going to send you where you can actually get it. Hey! How you doing, man? Oh, good to see you, boy? Well, good to see you. You all right? Great, great. So, this is the first game you see? The first game you're watching? This is the first game you're watching?
Yeah.
Okay.
They can make a 135 though.
135.
Yeah. Believe me. No further than that. And like I tell you, the reason you can broadcast it. You can broadcast it until the city, the Barbados get poor cricketers, the city will never be on top. You got vicious cricketers. But believe me, God, the cricketers been easy. Not anyway.
Send that to me for that on my answer. I don't certainly always see them travel. This was supposed to come on this evening. But saying you don't can maybe another person can make it. Last week supposed to come through.
You looking at me though? I watch carefully. What are you looking at me?
You know what I mean? Like Weymouth ground for the resumption of this battle between the Barbados Police Service and the Grenada Police Force. What a game we've had so far. Barbados recovering quite nicely from 22 for 2 to reach 172 for 4 from their 20 overs, thanks to a magnificent performance from Mario Albert. Well, we see him in local cricket in Barbados, having seen him from Maple, a club that is on the West Coast, and now a constable in the Barbados Police Force. We know his ability, very athletic, certainly a good football as well, goalkeeper. Coming to the party, so to speak, when Barbados were in a spot of bother, and is 77 from just 55 balls, 6 fours and 3 sixes, along with Kadeem Ali's 37, certainly ensured Barbados recovered quite nicely to have reached, in the end, a satisfying 172 for 4. And with a rate of just over 8 per over, they will feel that they've got an excellent opportunity against a Grenada side that boasts several players that would have represented the Grenada national team, and of course some of them also went on to play for the Windwards, namely Heron Campbell, Roland Cato and Josh Thomas, who would have bowled the last over. So they've got some good players in the lineup, and in terms of opening the batting, Jeremiah, of course he would have done pretty well for Grenada, and no doubt looking to continue to do a good job in this regional T20 competition. So the magic number, 173. That is what Grenada will have in mind. Barbados will be hoping that they can defend the score quite comfortably, as they did in their first match. But of course, that's all conjecture. What's reality is that the sun is out in all of its brilliance, and we're just about to continue the battle between the Spice Isle and the Flying Fish and Cuckoo Men. Here's Joe Manning.
Yeah, things certainly shaping up for an exciting second half of action here at Weymouth. 172 was put on the board by the Barbados Police Service. The first time they'll have to defend a target in this tournament. They chased down their previous 2 targets in quick succession to get them their first 2 wins in this regional police tournament, now having to defend. And you must say that they'll probably be happy having been inserted to bat first with 172 on the board. However, Grenada will be looking to knock those runs off. It's a good batting surface here at Weymouth. And we're certainly in for an exciting contest to end off what is the 3rd day of action in this regional police tournament. If you're just joining us, I want to say good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to everyone that's joined us here at Weymouth. The crowd has slowly but surely built over time. At one stage, you could hear the cheering as Albert and Co. were striking it to all parts of this venue. But I do believe that we're all set and ready to get things underway. 173 is a target. Opening the batting for Grenada, Johan Jeremiah. And he'll be facing to Vincent Vaughan. Venice Vaughan, in fact. Vaughan has been asked to do this task at the top of the order throughout this tournament. He's done it quite well. Kept things tight, picked up wickets for the Barbados Police Service. He'll be hoping that he can continue that form. one thing that we noticed during the Barbados Police Service innings is that the running was good for the most part by them. Just the one run out, which was the first wicket of the innings. Grenada will be hoping that they can run well here. A good tight start by Vaughan, 4 dot balls. Make that 5. He'll be hoping that he can close it out. A cutaway, and that will be the first boundary for Grenada. The first runs off the bat, and it's 4 to Jeremiah.
Yeah, that happens very often. You're tight, very, very tight indeed. And then it comes to the very last delivery. And as was the case, they're too short and wide and punished. And when you look at T20 cricket worldwide, a lot of bowlers don't sometimes get it right off that last delivery. I don't know if it's too much pressure on them. They put together a very good over, but then when it comes to that last delivery, something seems to go wrong, as was the case there with young Vaughan, and he was punished down to backward square for 4.
Yeah, there's a bit of width on offer, and most left-handers enjoy width outside of the off stump. Capitalizing on it there was Johan Jeremiah, and that will certainly make him feel good. Pairing him at the other end is Lyndon Lawrence. So the opening pair for Grenada, Johan Jeremiah and Lyndon Lawrence.
So Padmore is going to start for Barbados. He actually opens the bowling with the young left arm spinner. Here we go for the second over.
Slapped with disdain. Oh my goodness gracious me, that was fantastic from the bat of Lyndon Lawrence.
And that was hit with a tremendous disdain as well. He actually walked into the bowler and hit him through that mid-off area for 4. What a shot. What a way. What a statement.
Greeted with a slap straight back down the ground. A bit of fire on that one from Lawrence. I did say that we're in for an exciting encounter. Woo! Make that 2.
Wow. Wow.
That's a big one. That's gone the distance.
Wow.
Those that are cheering on Grenada here are certainly happy. You can hear the horns blowing, the flag fluttering on the goal post here at Weymouth. Certainly a fantastic shot that. Dropped short and slapped away. A lot of pressure being placed onto Padmore. A lot of pressure being placed onto Barbados at the moment.
And already the captain is making some adjustments. He's brought the third man inside the circle. And what's going to happen? Is he going to, yes, he's going to now go with the fielder at square leg on the boundary. Or is he going to go to the back? But let's check in to see what's going to happen here. There's a long on, and there's a fine leg. So he's decided now to bring the fielder on the shoulder of the umpire down at short, backward square. What a start.
This time, can't get it past cover. So that's a dot ball, and Padmore would definitely be a little happier with that one.
Yeah, it was a much better length as well, in line, just on the top of the off stump. Couldn't put it away.
Oh my goodness. Well, make it a triple treat. That has also found its way into the boundary.
Yeah, poor delivery, full, hit through cover, meat and drink really. And hit that very powerful indeed for 4. So that is going to excite the Grenadians and caused a bit of worry for Barbados. That was it with a lot of power. Good work by the spectator down at the far side of the ground. Now the slip has been pulled away, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men on the offside saving one.
They're known as the Spice Isle, and this is indeed a spicy start for them.
And a no ball. Wow. Free hit.
Well, if you're looking to add insult to injury, that is the way to do it. A lot of pressure out there on Rashid Padmore, and it's certainly telling now with that no ball. So Lawrence needed no invitation to have a swing.
Well, he's now got the free hit, so therefore he's got tremendous freedom. Let's see what happens with this. And he's bowled him, but of course, it's that's not going to count. But a good delivery right in the block. It was bowled with a lot of pace as well. Knocking the leg stump back.
Well, that's the nature of this game called cricket.
Yeah, indeed.
You go for runs.
But look at that, right in the block hole. And the leg stump being disturbed.
Well, certainly the best delivery that he's bowled for this over thus far. And the question is, can he replicate it? And can he do it again? The pressure is still on him. 19 runs for the loss of a no wicket. 15 of them coming off of this over. And we'll add some more to that. Does it have the legs? Pulled back just inside, and they think about 3. So 17 runs coming off of that over. A very expensive one, you would have to say. After 21 without loss.
Yeah, good start for the Grenada Police force. And over, as you said, 17 runs coming. Lawrence really hitting through the line nicely on 2 occasions. And got a short ball and pulled it away. So this is a good start for them. I thought they did pretty well at certain stages when Barbados batted. But Albert really was the difference. He made 77. But you would think that 172 for 4 after being 22 for the loss of 2, Barbados would have been happy with that. Now Vaughan's first over was good. He just strayed off the last ball. He starts the second.
And he's swept away, but can't get it past the man at short fine leg. You'd have to think that either to the left or right of him, it would have been a certain boundary. Opting to come around the wicket is Vaughan. Get straight.
Good single as well. It was a good delivery. It was fast, flat, on the middle stump. The 2 batsmen very alert to pick up the single.
Yeah, certainly good running by them.
Well, he certainly handled the pace bowling pretty well, Lawrence. Let's see what he will do against spin.
They're looking to get the field right. In terms of the fielders out, there's a man at long on and a man at deep mid-wicket. And a much quieter approach, you would have to say, from Lawrence, respecting Venice Vaughan there. Well, that is going to be gone. That is out of here. Oh, my goodness.
He hit it very well. There was one that was given a bit of air and slightly wide. He went after it. The ball before was very flat. Threw that one in there where the off stump had the freedom. Hit it, and hit it very well indeed. Wide of long off for 6. There we go. Ball given some air. And hitting that ball very well indeed. That will present a couple of challenges for the Barbados side. This has been a good start by the Grenada Police Force here.
Yeah, this is certainly the most pressure that the Barbados Police Service have been put under in this tournament. It's been a commanding start by Lyndon Lawrence and Johan Jeremiah at the crease here, putting on 28 for the loss of no wicket thus far. 2.4 overs have been bowled. You would have to think that if you're a car spectator around this venue at the moment, you could be in a spot of bother with how Lawrence has really been going about things.
Yeah, he's looked good. And it's interesting to see what the young man will do here now. Is he going to fight it again? I rather suspect he's going to be flat, hit the ball into the pitch. Let's see what happens. Beautifully bowled. Lovely comeback. Little drift away and bounce as well. And Lawrence flirted. That's a very good comeback by young Vaughan, who's been impressive. Getting quite a bit of bounce. And this is a good comeback after being struck for 6 over wide long off. Last 2 deliveries, no runs coming. So we've now completed 3 overs and Grenada 28 without loss.
Yeah, certainly pulling it back well in that over was Venice Vaughan. Started it tight, started it well, just a single coming off the first 3 deliveries, but then that 6 certainly
hit that very well indeed, didn't he? It was given a bit of air just outside the off stump, and he freed his arms and hit it wide of long off. But as you said, Vaughan really came back quite nicely.
You know, he certainly did.
So Captain Sargent is elected to continue with Padmore.
Yeah, went for 17 in his first. He'll want to work on that. This starts with one outside of the off stump. The first time I believe he'll be bowling to Johan Jeremiah. So he might like this matchup at the moment, given how Lawrence treated him in the previous over. Once again, just outside of that off stump. But in looking at how they've started in pursuit of 173, you would have to think that this is just what they would have been hoping for, capitalizing on the power play overs, keeping up with that required scoring rate at the moment. If they don't lose any wickets, you would have to think that they would believe that the base is probably set for them. Scamper's a quick one. Once again, that good running on show by this pair. Good early call. Rotating the strike nicely. Brings Lawrence back into strike. He was a chief destroyer in that previous over delivered by Padmore. They up now to push the man back at long on. Man back at a fine leg as well. So probably looking to go full and straight is Padmore. We'll see. Well, he goes full and straight, and a brilliant stop. But it's another no ball.
Wow.
And that is going to be a free hit for Lawrence. He was bowled off the previous free hit. What can he do now? Goes full again. Doesn't make a connection with those stumps. Instead with the pads. And it is one more to the total. So when the pressure's on in terms of bowling those free hits, you have seen that Padmore has been up to the task. The question is, can he do it for the remaining 4 deliveries of this over? That one sliding down the leg side and will be signaled leg byes now, I believe, by the umpire, confirmed there. Currently scoring at 8.35, the required run rate 8.72 for Grenada. And he closes it out with a gift. That one will race away. So 4 runs to close it out, 36 without loss after 4.
Yep. Disappointing way to end the over. And he kicks the outfield because I think he recognized that he bowled a poor delivery on the leg stump. Meat and drink really, and whipping the ball quite nicely up towards that mid-wicket area for 4. But this is a good start. Have a look at that. Full and on the leg stump and whipped away through mid-wicket for 4. And there we go.
Yeah, the ideal start for Grenada. As I mentioned, probably first team that has really applied pressure to this Barbados Police Service side. They've gotten off to a fantastic start. And for them, it's a case of kicking on, probably capitalizing on the remaining 2 overs in this power play. But if you are Barbados, it's about pulling things back at the moment, probably looking to maybe pick up a wicket as well to stem the flow of runs. Venice Vaughan into his 3rd. He bowled straight through yesterday. We'll see if the same remains. Coming over the wicket now to Jeremiah. And he's greeted with a slap. And that too will find its way into the boundary. So the runs keep coming for Grenada at the moment.
Yeah, that was a full toss. Just on about the leg stump. That's all he had to do was to put bat under that. And that's gone for 4.
Certainly not responding to the pressure quite well here at the moment. Barbados really being put under the pump, put under the hammer. And not finding the lines or lengths that are required to restrict and keep Grenada quiet at the moment. Jeremiah gets in on the act. That's his 2nd boundary of the afternoon. Takes Grenada Police Service up to 40 without loss. Prompts a change now in the field. The man comes off the cover boundary. A bit of confusion at the moment with how things have been flowing for Grenada. It's just a case maybe of slowing things down for Barbados. Looking to string together a couple deliveries, peg them back. A man drops back to deep square leg. There's a man at long off on the boundary. A couple conversations going on out there, looking to get things right. Long off now being asked to come in. Long on goes back onto the boundary. So like I mentioned, you know, just looking to ensure that they have the correct field. But can Venice Vaughan bowl to the field now? Goes a lot slower with that one. That's a question of the umpire, to which she nods her head, shakes it in fact, and says not out. Taking it delivery by delivery. Can they string together a couple tight deliveries, put a little pressure back onto Grenada? The rotation of strike continues, which I do believe has also put off the Barbados Police Service at the moment. Just that combination of the left-hander, right-hander, having to make the quick adjustments, and on occasion not adjusting well and paying the price for it. 4.3 overs gone. Kadeem Aline comes from slip and goes into the covers. Lyndon Lawrence, 26 off of 14 deliveries. And to make that 27. Certainly good cricket at the moment, you would have to say.
Yep. They're also picking up the singles, as you said earlier, and that's so important. Boundaries, yes, but certainly just working the ball around, keeping the scoreboard ticking. This has been a very good start by the Grenada Police Force.
Goes a bit flatter there. Did Vaughan. He'll be hoping to close out this over. Just one delivery left in it. Over yielded some 6 runs so far. Another question asked of the umpire, but a dot ball. So at the end of 5, 42 without loss.
Yeah, much better control to the end of the over there. In terms of young spinner Vaughan, keeping things tight. But Lawrence has gotten 27 from just 15 balls, and Jeremiah has given good support. 11 from 17, 5 gone, 42 without loss. Interesting too in terms of the rate required is 8.73. They're currently scoring at 8.40, so they've done a good job so far. I would think Barbados will remove Padmore from the attack. His first 2 costs 23, so I would imagine he'll be pulled out, as you would expect, really, having been a bit poor in terms of his bowling. 2 for what, 23?
Yeah, 2 for 23.
Replaced by Kadeem Ali.
Yeah, 2 for 23 for Padmore. Not the start that he would have been hoping for, and he's now replaced at that south end by Kadeem Ali. At times bowls what you consider to be a very stiff medium pace, does Aline. And he's greeted with a fantastic shot. Oh my dear, that is probably shot of the day, you would have to say.
Yeah, we've seen 2 wonderful shots. The first to get Bab off the mark, a crunching drive through extra cover. And mind you, when you look at the field, there are 3 men make that 4 in the offside, saving 1. But he was able to actually pierce the offside field, hitting the ball between cover and extra cover. And that's gone away for 4, and now has prompted the captain to protect the offside, protect the cover boundary. This is a good start. Lawrence is a batsman. There's no doubt about that. Drives the ball beautifully.
Lawrence is motoring along.
Good start to the over as well.
Well, he attempts to double up. I don't believe it might get to the boundary. Yes, it does, in fact. So make that back-to-back boundaries for Lawrence, and the pressure once again on. That also brings up the 50 for the Grenada Police Force. And they're certainly happy under those trees.
Yeah, they are indeed. It was almost as if it was almost like swatting the ball, really. You have a chance to see it on the monitor. Swatted it, really. Didn't time it all that well, but had the legs to get there. And a race across the outfield. The pace of Karani James. Of course, they're the national hero.
Well, a quiet one there. A dot ball. There have not been too many in this innings. The Barbados Police Service haven't really been able to string together deliveries at the moment and apply any pressure to Grenada.
Well, they're desperate in search of a wicket here, Barbados.
Down the leg side.
Yeah, the thing about that was the change of pace there. And just clipped the pad its way through. The keeper, Albert, who would have played for Barbados as a goalkeeper, so knows about stretching.
Yeah, opting to go to the variations quite early. Kadeem Ali after being put under the pump from Lawrence. Well, he goes full, and this one has wings. It's taken flight and gone for 6.
Oh, well done. This is tremendous stuff. When I first started my commentary today, I said to you that so far in terms of competitiveness, I like these 2 teams. Barbados, they've got a strong side, but the Grenada side looks a good one as well. So far in the competition, Barbados, Grenada, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the stage is set as we, of course, head down towards the finals on April the 10th at the region's Mecca. But they're really making a fist of this. That's a wonderful shot by Lawrence, who hits the ball beautifully.
Yeah, certainly taking advantage of the power play at the moment. The fielding restrictions, 2 inside the circle.
Yeah, Barbados a rattle here. There's no doubt about it.
As I mentioned, this is the most pressure that they've been under thus far in this tournament. They bowled first in their previous 2 innings, restricted both teams to what were quite paltry totals and chased them down relatively quickly. The first time they're having to defend, and it's not looking too good for them at the moment. Ends it off with pace on. But 14 runs coming off of that Kadeem Aline over. It's 56 without loss.
Yeah, 14 runs, as you said. So the rate is a good one for the Grenada Police Force. The current rate is 9.93. And in terms of the run rate required, it's 8.36. Lawrence is on 41 from just 21 balls. He's really done a good job. And Jeremiah stayed with him. He's been the silent partner. They've done a good job. And Barbados desperately in search of 2 things here, just trying to pull it back. Vaughan's first 3 costs in 17. Padmore was all over the place, like Calypso and Punka. 2 for 23, and Kadeem Aline's first over was expensive. So work to be done by Barbados here. And Grenada have made a very, very positive start.
Well, the end of the power play, but not the end of the runs. Jeremiah now got an eye on the yacht.
Yeah, more trouble. Dragged out towards mid-wicket. And the field on the mid-wicket boundary could not get across in time. This place is stunned, really. As I look to my right, there are several retired police officers here. Well, look at that, that's gone away down to that mid-wicket area. And they're glued to the game, not saying a lot. Barbados under pressure, 60 without loss in over number 7. The target is 173.
Those fielding restrictions lifted. And now 5 men outside of the circle for the Barbados Police Service. Slows that one up, and a lot of vacant space in that leg side at the moment for Jeremiah. A comfortable single for them. The score ticks along nicely for Grenada at the moment. Vaughan into his final over. He's bowled 3.2 overs now for 22. It now becomes a case of if they're not getting the wickets, how do they slow down the runs? How do they apply pressure to Grenada? And well, if you're Grenada, how do we keep going? Well, this looks good. And it is good. Just as good as the rest. More runs for Jeremiah, or rather more runs, sorry, for Lyndon Lawrence. More runs for Grenada.
Yeah, they were sit pretty straight as well. The field that long off came across his right, couldn't stop it. Very well struck indeed. Yeah, big strong man, there's no doubt about that. Hits the ball powerfully. And this game is going at a frenetic pace here. 65 already.
A fantastic exhibition of stroke play by this pair. A bit of a pause in the delivery stride, a variation that we've seen creep in over the years.
I think he was just trying to unsettle the batsman there, but he read it quite nicely.
Vacant space there. Could be the possibility of 2 if they run hard. And they do just that.
Yeah, good cricket indeed. Just turn the wrist and impact and working the ball down to backward square. It was line just on the top of that leg stump. And he's back for second. So it's not only all about boundaries, he's looking for those ones and twos as well, Lawrence. That's going to be called a wide.
Just one delivery to close out this Venice Vaughan over. And he will end it with a single. So 7 overs gone. The score now 69 without loss.
Yeah, Vaughan's 4 overs costing 30 runs. And the rate required is under 9. In fact, it's exactly 8. And you would think that that's comfortable. They've not lost the wicket. It's not that they're 69 for 3. They're 69 without loss. So these two have given them a very good start here. Lawrence is 48 from 25 balls, and they're picking up those singles as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what Barbados, how they respond to this challenge. It's really a challenge for them. And at the moment, one would think that with 7 overs gone, 69 without loss, it would be at the moment advantage to the Grenada police force. But we shall see. Cricket is a funny old game.
Yeah, the seesaw certainly tipping in the favor of Grenada at the moment. Just the 1 over for Kadeem Allen. He's now being replaced at that end by Darrell Babb. Quick comparison after 6. The Barbados were 47 for 2 after 6. Grenada 56 without loss. Now 69 without loss after 7. Well, he's greeted with the maximum result possible. And that will also be the 50 for Lyndon Lawrence. He brings up his 50 in just 26 deliveries. A fantastic knock by him.
Yeah, tremendous. No doubt about that. And playing good cricket shots as well. Easy power. That was short and swung away lustily over the wicket. That's gone for 6. Barbados are under pressure here.
The runs keep coming for Grenada.
Straight to the fielder. That's what pressure does for you. It's gone for 4. Well, well, well.
What should have been a regulation stop at long off turns into a boundary. So things certainly not going Barbados' way at the moment. Getting behind it. And that ball just going through the open window. Good work being done there by Sargent, having to dive back to the left after getting a bit of a bubble on this outfield. You would have to think that based on how things have shaped up, Grenada are certainly well on their way towards that target of 173 here for victory. The thing about cricket though, we know that a couple dot balls, a couple wickets, and things could certainly look different. Tries to get under that one, and it just falls short of the man coming in from long on.
Well, the culprit was Rashid Padmore. Well, he certainly bowled poorly, and maybe the pressure telling on the young man.
Just caught in 2 minds there to end off the 8th over. 81 without loss, Grenada police force at the moment.
Yeah, just 8 overs gone. So just before I leave you, as Donovan Lovell comes a calling, interested in football in England? Chelsea up against Liverpool. Well, it's a situation where no goals scored, 74 minutes gone. Bournemouth up against Brighton. Brighton up 1-0. Leeds up against Nottingham Forest. It's 2-1. Just about winding down. They're into extra time there. Leeds 2, Nottingham Forest 1. And Leicester, who just fired their manager, Brendan Rodgers, with a man down. There are 1 goal. And Aston Villa, they've done very well with their new coach. They've gone in terms of victories, done very well, and they're 2-1 up. So it's a very interesting battle there between Leicester and Aston Villa. My side. In fact,
Well, things go from bad to worse for the Barbados Police Service.
yeah, they're rattled. There's no doubt about that. They're rattled. Stephen Gooden is coming to attack. But you would think at this stage that 83 without loss, good old common sense batting, you can get over the line. But as you said, cricket is a funny game.
Yeah, they're certainly well on their way at the moment, but just at the moment.
He certainly got away with that. That was floated just outside the leg stump. The batsman looking to sweep it and just got the bottom of the bat under that. That could have easily gone down to fine leg for 4. He's a lucky man there, Stephen Gooden.
Prompts a change in the field now. The man drops back from square leg onto the boundary. And that bunks that we've seen all throughout this day on offer there for Stefan Gooding as well. A little bit of turn on offer also for him. Smart work. But the umpire says not out. Albert thought he had his man. He was off to the races. But he's been called back to the starting gates.
Yeah, he certainly thought he had his man stumped there. In fact, Albert is saying, let's go upstairs. Wonderful indeed. But he lured him. Let's have a look at this. Coming forward. Ooh, interesting.
Probably looks like he got that foot down.
Interesting.
In time there, Jeremiah.
But it was a beautiful delivery. Gooden gets the ball to turn and bounce. Lovely action as well.
Cut away. And the man has some work to do and does that work well. Keeps it down to 2.
Yeah, a bit short and wide on that occasion. And played square in the offside for 2. Just 4 runs from the over so far. The last ball is about to be bowled. And that's very well bowled indeed. That was almost well, you can almost say a medium pace delivery. Beaten by the extra pace. Not even bounce, pace generated. And it went through the gate, just outside the off stump, taken by the keeper. So good over for Gooden to start. And we've got a situation where 9 gone, 85 without loss. Time for a change of commentator. Donovan Lovell comes a call in. He's got some work to do as a Barbados supporter.
That fine delivery certainly had a lot onto it. As I say, good afternoon to Donovan Lovell joining us again here in the commentary position. Certainly a lot for the Barbados Police Service to do at the moment to pull things back in their favor. Darryl Babb into what is now his 2nd over. The first one yielded 12 runs. At the moment, things certainly looking quite easy for Grenada. If you're putting yourself in the position of Barbados, Donovan, how do you go about things right now?
Good afternoon again to all your listeners, Joel. You viewers, me personally, what I would try to do here is as much as possible, as you watch this delivery, try to see how best you can stop the run flow. 1, looking to pick up a wicket. 2, these batsmen are set, you need to get one of them out or both of them out as quickly as possible. Then you can make inroads into the side.
Well, wickets certainly will be the order of the day, the order of the game, if Barbados Police Service are to pull themselves back into this contest. Racing away with it at the moment, Grenada Police Force 88 without loss, 9.4 overs so far in this contest. We're almost at the halfway stage of this innings. And that bubble allows them to come for one.
Certainly some good batting, but if you're honest with yourself, you must admit that the Barbados side has gifted a lot of these runs away by some indifferent bowling.
Well, that one looks to be another gift. It's wrapped with a bow, and it sails all the way over the rope. That is 6 to close things out.
As I said before, some poor bowling. When they're not too full, they're too short. Really and truthfully, and it's amazing to see that the two best balls I've seen today from the Barbados Police side were the ones from Padmore that were free hits. One, he bowled Lawrence with one, and the other one would have been a close LBW shout. Apart from that, the bowling has been quite ordinary, not stringing together as much good deliveries as they should. Hoping to create some pressure to give you that wicket or two that you need. I think at this stage, it's really looking as though the Grenada side is going to run away with it. I see at 95 without loss, and Lawrence looking really well, playing some lovely strokes along with Jeremiah. Both of them looking really large and in charge and looking towards the finish line to wrap it up for Grenada.
Yeah, this pair certainly has done quite well for them. A quick look at those bowling figures. Well, the wicket column, that is empty. And the runs column, that is full. Vaughan, he went for 30 from his 4. Padmore just bowled the 2 for 23. Kadeem Aline, just his solitary over for 14. Bab, he went for 22 from his 2. And Stefan Gooding, he was the pick of the bowlers so far. Just the 1 over for him. He's gone for 4. So if you're just joining us, Barbados Police Service, they were asked to bat first. And they got up to 172 for 4 in their 20 overs. In replay, needing 173. Grenada Police Force, they are off to an absolute flyer. 95 without loss in 10. And a quick comparison there in 10. Barbados, they were 73 for 3. So there's certainly leaps and bounds above the position that Barbados were in. But still half of the encounter to go, and anything is certainly possible in cricket. Lovely pictures there of this venue looking off towards the south. Nice greenery in the background, the flags are fluttering, and certainly a fantastic day for cricket. An exciting contest here between Barbados and Grenada.
Yeah, certainly, Joel. It's not lost for the Barbadian side. There's still no 72 shot in terms of winning this match. So if they could string some good deliveries together, get a wicket or two, get among the Grenadian batsmen, you never know what could happen in this funny old game. But as it stands now, with the Grenadians on 95 without loss, it's looking to me as though the Grenadians are going to cruise home quite easily.
Yeah, if things do continue at this rate, we won't be here for too long with this pair at the crease. It's been almost the perfect balance, you would have to say, between these two in terms of the attacking approach being taken by Lawrence, or you would want to call it the positive approach being taken by Lawrence, and Jeremiah supporting him ably, capitalizing, yes, on the bad balls, but then being there to work around the deliveries and get Lawrence back onto strike and let him do what he has to do.
Again, partnerships, both batting and bowling. And now Lawrence is the one who's striking the ball beautifully, who it seems to be in fine nick. So what is Jeremiah doing? Every possible chance he gets, put him back on strike.
So it's Gooding. He's into his second over. His first just went for the 4. He was hoping to get that or better, probably pick up a wicket as well. Bring somebody new to the crease for Grenada. Well, they're looking for wickets, but the only thing that's coming is runs. And that's going to be 4 more of them.
Again, down the leg side, easy ball. Just get some bat on it and it's going to run away for 4. So the indiscipline continues with this Barbados police attack. Easy hit down the leg side, easy runs to be had. And Jay Morris said, thank you very much. It's not my birthday, but I'm going to accept this gift. Thank you very much.
You always wondered what might happen if a team were to put pressure on to Barbados in this tournament. How would they respond? And so far, they've not had the answers for Grenada. It's certainly been an up and down day for them. With the bat, things didn't get off to the start they wanted, but they came back. They fought themselves back into the encounter. They put a good target on the board, but with the ball, they just haven't been there thus yet in this match. Still some time, 9.3 overs remaining. And the question is, who can they turn to take that wicket? Who has the magic arm for them?
We see there's an appeal for LBW. The umpire says not out. Vicious appeal, nevertheless, the umpire turned it down. Says not out, and Gooden is going to continue.
No problem, so this is Douglas and Maloney both got Wait, who they playing? Well, a bit of news coming in from a couple of the grounds as that's the end of the 11th over. 99 without loss it is here at Weymouth, but looking at the encounter between St. Vincent and Grenadines and the British Virgin Islands, SVG got up to 270 for 1 in their 20 overs, and I must say that's a bit of a total there on the board. Both Douglas and Maloney, they got hundreds for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so 270 for 1 SVG versus the BVA, and that will certainly take some batting to even get close to that one.
I told you, I saw the Vincentian side. I said it the first day I saw them. This is going to be the team to beat. This is a well-oiled, organized unit, and they're magnificent in the field, and they're full of energy. They bat well, and they bat deep. And I called it on the first day. Somebody said, but Donovan is only the first game, but they look like champions.
And well, it's certainly not been Barbados' day. That one narrowly missing the stump. It won't be a boundary. But nothing has gone their way so far, you would have to say, in this innings.
Well, bear in mind, they're the defending champions. And obviously, teams are going to be gunning for them. So they have to make sure that they fight with everything they have to make sure that they can recapture this tournament here in their backyard.
Well, those 2 runs also mean that the 100 comes up for Grenada. And my goodness gracious me, add 6 more to the total.
Again, short. As they will say in Bajan parlance, a long hop. Asking for the treatment, he said, you know what, I'm begging you, please hit me for 6. And Lawrence obliged and did just that. So the bowling continues here to be rugged all over the place. No bowler so far has strung together 3 or 4 good deliveries to pressure the Grenadian batsmen, and doesn't even look as though they will get a wicket.
Well, that Grenadian horn hasn't stopped blowing all afternoon long since they've been at the crease. They've certainly been treated to a wonderful exhibition of batting by Lyndon Lawrence. 75 from just 35 deliveries. And well, a lot of questions being asked of the Barbados bowlers at the moment, but none of them have the answers for them. Things certainly looking relatively easy. They're coasting along towards that target of 173. I thought about one. won't get it. A couple dot balls finally being put together by this Barbados side. Just one delivery left. How can they close it out?
This is when you stay together as a team.
And he closes it out with a
there.
wicket.
You stay together as a team. You've got the wicket. And try to push on from here now. Create a pressure for the batsmen coming in. And you never know. 2 quick wickets added to this one, and you could be back in the game. But that one was a lot slower. And he went for an almighty heave, and he missed it, and was beaten and bowled.
Well, you just start to tell yourself that maybe Lyndon Lawrence was looking a little tired, especially when he turned down that single and going down the leg side. Opting to have another swing at that one, but this time missing it. And his off stump was rocked back. And so the first wicket down for Grenada, the score 107 for 1. Lyndon Lawrence goes back for 75 off of 39 deliveries.
And if you look at it, Joel, you can see that whenever the bowler pitches the ball back, as they would say, back pitch the ball, it is difficult for the batsmen to score off of deliveries that are back pitch back. And once you take it to them, where they can easily get close to it and score, they're doing that. But still, no one is trying to back pitch the ball to make it difficult for the batters. They're just giving them full toss, long hop, a wide ball, one after the next.
Well, the new batter for Grenada is Shondell Regis. He joins Jeremiah, who is out there 27 now. Faced 35 deliveries. It'll be interesting to see the role that Jeremiah plays now at the dismissal of Lawrence. Does he now go towards being the positive one, or does he continue to rotate, strike, work the ball around, and be that one to be there at the end of the innings? Fired in by Gooding. That, to me, seems to be his go-to delivery, you would have to say.
It's been indeed a very good delivery, close to that middle stump. While we were analyzing, while Lawrence was walking off, we have to mention it was indeed a magnificent innings played by Lawrence.
Gets cheeky, opens the face there, but just the one. Some good work being done. That short third man position. This is certainly the time that Barbados has to take to get back into the game. You took that wicket, and now it's to apply that pressure. Good stuff so far by Gooding. Just the one run from his 3 balls here. It's to close out this over, possibly pick up another, but ensure that the likes of Regis doesn't get settled here, doesn't get a bad delivery to get off the mark. Just like that.
Certainly, Joel. Create pressure. Keep him on strike. Let him face at least 2 or 3 dot balls. Building up in his mind that, you know what, I'm not scoring, I have to go for a shot. And that's how you're going to create pressure, get the other wicket, and look to make deep arrows into the Grenadian side.
Oh, that one misses everything. And it finds its way into the boundary. The outfield certainly has been running away all day long, and that's 4 byes to the total. Takes it up now to 108 for 1.
Yes, a near miss, as you can see. Yes, barely passing outside the half stump, and you can afford now to give away runs like this, but nevertheless, the ground has been running off quickly for the whole tournament, and the keeper, the man at Gully, had no chance of pulling that back whatsoever.
I mentioned the score at 108 is in fact 112 with those 4 byes. 1 delivery left. And he closes out with a dot ball. So a good follow-up in terms of an over by getting just those 4 byes coming from it. 112 for 1.
Certainly. Pressure is the key word here. Adjust your field. The new batsman, press him. Don't let him get off the mark easily. Create that belief you know, they're behind the 8 ball. We know they're not, but you have to keep it at this stage as tight as possible, looking for that additional wicket, looking to get 1 or 2, and then you will find yourself back in the game into the Grenada side, and you never know, then you can easily cruise for home. But wickets are important and as quick as possible here for the Barbados side.
And he's sent on his way. So chipping down to a slower delivery from Darryl Babb. Caught out and stumped. So wicket number 2 falls for them, 112 for 2.
So this is what we are speaking about. Wickets are paramount here. That one just gifted it away, really, running down the track, and you can see out stump. No need for that to have happened. They're actually cruising 112 for 2. Nevertheless, that's a wicket for the Barbadian side, who are looking to get back into this game, and they can only do it by picking up wickets.
Well, we wondered what role Johan Jeremiah would look to play at the dismissal of Lawrence. Looking to get positive there, but ran past that one and must now walk back into the pavilion. He goes for 28 off of 39 balls, and straight into the crease now is Hiron Campbell. So wickets coming for Barbados, dot balls coming as well, and that equals a bit of pressure being placed back on to the Grenada side at the moment. Oh, living dangerously there. Peels off the inner edge of the bat. Should be a comfortable 2. You would have to think, though, that the platform for Grenada is fairly set at the moment. Even though they've lost 2 quick wickets, it shouldn't be something that worries them too much at this point.
Nevertheless, if the Barbados side could get 2 quick wickets here, they'll be back in the game, and you never know, closing out could be a possibility for them.
Easy single. A lot of gaps on the leg side with the field quite spread. Everyone back on the boundary on the leg side except for the man at that short mid-wicket. It's been a good over so far. There are 3 runs off of it, and the wicket for Babb. He's picked up 2. He's been the chief destroyer, if you can call it a destroyer, given the total that we're currently looking at, 115 for 2. Well, the misfield allows them to come back for 2. After a while, the fielding really hasn't been so good for the Barbados Police Service.
And it's been the need now to stick together, to stay together in this game. They have to back up each other. The fielders have to complement the bowlers if they're to create any pressure at all, forcing a wicket or 2.
Well, this one peels off the edge, but it finds a vacant space in that offside. So 2 runs to close out the 14th over, 119 for 2.
And if you realize, Joel, when Babb is bowling, he's bowling not only a lot slower, but he's bowling the ball just back of that length. So you can't get under it to hit it. And it's slow and it's spinning. So you can't, as you can see here, you can't control the shot. There's nothing on it in terms of pace that he's offering you. So you have to put everything on it. And I think that is good, intelligent bowling. Once you back pitch the ball, as I said before, it's difficult for the batsman to score.
Certainly proving quite difficult to score. Babb completes his 4 overs, 37 runs off of them, picked up 2 wickets as well. A bit of a tumble in the outfield for Stefan Gooding, just going over as he chased that one. Needing a bit of repair work. The medic comes out onto the field. He was in hot pursuit of that one. Caught a bit of a bubble and a stumble, and that caused him to go over what we call the traditional cartwheel.
Oh yeah, well, he's a strong lad. He'll be back up shortly. He's a fierce competitor, so no doubt that's not going to stop him at all. He's going to be there to the end, I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, fantastic crowd here, taking in the atmosphere. An exciting contest on our hands here at Weymouth. The Grenadians have not stopped cheering since the start of this innings, and why not? They were treated to some fantastic stroke making by Lyndon Lawrence. 75 off of 39. If you missed it, you certainly missed what was a box office show.
Indeed, it was a magnificent knock. Not only power, but the placement. It was really a sight to see. And if you are a lover of cricket, even though you might not be a Grenadian or you will not be hailing for that side, once you're a lover of cricket, you have to admit it was indeed a beautiful knock, some magnificent shots. And the only thing that spoiled it really is that he didn't go on to score 100. But it was indeed entertaining. And the crowd here, no doubt, having a good time enjoying that knock here by young Lawrence.
It's Darian Seal now, introduced into the attack. And he starts with a single. The sixth bowler used by the Barbados Police Service. Just 53 runs now needed for Grenada. 5.5 overs remaining, so 35 balls, 53 runs. Just pausing to get that feel right. The man at fine leg comes in, the third man and goes back. There's a man at square leg on the boundary, a long off and a long on. A man sweeping on the cover boundary as well. And the long off comes into play now. And that is fantastic running by this pair. Grenada have certainly run well throughout this innings.
Certainly. Again, the field on the boundary, he's long on, guilty of ball watching a bit. If he had moved immediately as the batsman set off, he would have cut that down to one, but instead the batsman realized that he was sleeping a bit, for lack of a better word, and they capitalized on that, getting two, what really should have been one.
Puts on the dancing shoes. But to the wrong tune, you'd have to say there. Full pace on from Seal.
One who was invited to senior trials. The selectors certainly had their eyes on him. A very bright prospect at that time. Good turn of pace and also batted a bit.
A bit of confusion. We mentioned the fact that they've been running well, but no damage done on that occasion.
So I suspect he's going to go down to the wire. I'm getting that feeling that however the game goes is going to be decided in the final over.
Well, this one is high into the sky. And it falls safe. For a moment, some hands in mouth stuff. But no foul and no alarm for Grenada. You'd have to tell yourself that I won't probably burst a clown on that particular occasion there, Donovan.
6 in height, if it was possible. But short my wicket running back, couldn't get it. And deep my wicket also fell short.
Well, this time he gets a better connection. And a couple bounces out to deep mid-wicket on the boundary. So 15 overs gone. We're into the business end of this contest. 5 remaining, 126 for 2.
And I'm calling it again, as you see here. Short mid-wicket running back, can't get there. And the man in deep mid-wicket boundary can't get there either. So I'm calling it, Joel, down to the wire. The last over, whatever happens, is going to be decided in the last one. That's my predictions.
Well, it's certainly shaping up to be that type of an evening here. Glorious sunshine, 126 for 2 at this stage. And Barbados were 115 for 3. And Barbados put on 57 runs in the last 5. Just 47 needed from the final 5 for Grenada to take victory here. Can they do it? Or will Barbados pull off what is a very wonderful comeback? That's the end of my stint. I'm going to make way now for Andrew Mason to come and join you in the commentary box.
So that rate has gone to 9.40. Barbados have been able to come back into the game ever since the departure of Lyndon Lawrence, who made 75 from just 39 balls. Campbell has faced 6. He's got 7. And Regis, from his 9, he's got 7. Here we go. So again, this is pretty good bowling. Getting a call from Ralph Thorne, KC. Of course, he's very familiar with the police. Ralph, I'm actually on air doing commentary now, so maybe I can let you hear some commentary. Good old Ralph Thorne. Maybe come to the police sports club and watch some cricket, Ralph. But thanks certainly for your call. 126 for 2. That's a poor delivery, and that will go into the boundary. Very ordinary delivery. Short, outside the leg stump, put away. That's not the way to do it at all, Aline. And that's a welcome boundary for the Grenada Police Force.
Asking for the treatment.
Ralph? No, I'm on here. I'm on here. I'm on here. All right, so just 43 more to win, and the rate is 9.56. So they're very much in this, and it's going to take a good effort on the part of the Barbados side to stop them, but you never know. Cricket is a funny old game. And that's another slow delivery, but again a run is scored. So these runs are important. The boundary came the ball before. How are you calling it now?
Last over, we decided.
Okay.
Whomever.
Put your money.
Whomever.
Where's your
wins
money?
the game.
Where's your money now?
I'm saying whomever
Donovan?
wins the game is going to happen in the last over.
Okay. So you're going to take it down to the last over. I don't think that Barbados expected this kind of competition, really. But, you know, cricket is a funny game. And these guys have performed very well. And had a very good start, the Grenada Police Force. Another single, down to cover. And they'll get 2. And this is where fielding is so important. The field in the boundary was very, very, very slow in coming in. Came in at the pace of a giant African snail, really. And they came back for the second. But you know, T20 cricket is all not only about batting and bowling, but about fielding as well. And that's where I've got my challenges with the West Indies side. Got to be sharp. And they got 2. Well done to Grenada. Pushing for the first. They'll get a second. This is good cricket. Again, the fielder on the boundary coming in, fumbled in the back for the second. Now this is the way to play cricket. Good old cricket from Grenada there. Running the first one hard. The fumble came, and they came back for the second at the end comfortably. Another good over for Grenada. So it's 135 for 2. We've now completed 16. So the equation now, the rate is 8.44. The current rate, the rate required is 9.50. Wickets should not be a problem. And these two have done a good job. 135 for 2, 38 to get. Anybody's game.
Certainly, Andrew. But the Barbados police side seem to be just losing a bit here in the outfield. As the coaches always tell you, make sure you run the first one hard, and that's what the Grenadians are doing. In case there's a fumble, you can always come back for the second. So intelligent running here, good cricket by the Grenadians.
Yeah, and the thing about the Grenadian side, they look fit. You know, I'm big on fitness, and that's one of the first things I do. I look at cricketers, and they've got, of course, one or two of them with a bit of a girth, like the score, but generally, they're very fit. Lawrence, big man, but hits the ball powerfully. And this is where you can win games by just turning that 1 into 2 and the 2s into 3s. Now it's going to be Darian Seal to take it up. We start over number 17, 38 required. Wickets not a problem for Grenada at this stage. Barbados have been put under tremendous pressure in their own backyard. Very well played indeed. That's gone for 4. Wonderful shot by Campbell. Mind you, he has had the experience of playing for Grenada and for the Windwards as well. So you're watching a batsman who has played at the regional level for the Grenada side and, of course, for the Windwards as well. So he's no slouch with the bat. And that was played down to wide long on for 4. And you start the over the boundary, it makes it easier for you for the rest of the over.
Your pressure is on the bowler straight away to close off this over, making sure that he don't go for many after gifting that first one for a boundary.
Yeah, well, if they get up and win this Grenada police force, they're 139 for 2. That certainly would create even more excitement in the competition. We've seen Barbados, we've seen the Grenada police force and St. Vincent, who had a big victory today. Again, a fumble from the fielder down at that square leg area. 2 batsmen were halfway, certainly in the middle of the pitch when the fielder fumbled, and they got the run comfortably. They've not been at their best today in the field, Barbados. Just a single. Field on the long on boundary came in quickly. They went into the 1, but they've got the boundary of the first ball, so as they would say, cool out, season settle, work the ball around, pick up your 9 or 10 from the over. Will he come back for the second here? He will, easily. Easily coming back for the second. The captain had a chance to throw at the stumps there to try to get rid of Campbell. He elected not to throw, so that gives you the mindset there. I certainly would have taken a chance because Campbell looks good. Captain did not throw, was happy to concede the single. Final ball of this over. What a shot, what a shot. That's gone for 6. And what a way to end the over. The Grenada Police Force really handed it to the Barbados Police Service. They should go on to win this. Another big over for them. And at the end of over number 17, 150 for a loss of 2. Your shot.
Indeed.
Came down the pitch as if he were a spinner and hoisted that ball over the long on area for 6. So it's just a matter now, I would think, with the rate required, at the start of the over, it was over 9. It's now gone to 7.67. So it's just a matter of walking it home now, one would think. No need now to go for the big shots, walk it around. Just work it, cover extra cover, mid-off, pick up the singles. But this has been a good performance. In fact, when you look at it, from the very start of the match, Barbados were under pressure at 22 for the loss of 2. They recovered to make 174. But now things have not gone well for them at all. So the Grenadians, large and in charge. Well, he's bowled him. Is there life for Barbados here? Slow delivery. And there was Campbell looking to swing the ball away on the onside, played a bit early. And Allen gets his man, 150 for 3. Campbell goes for 20.
Oh, yes, indeed. Slower delivery. Campbell threw that one early and only succeeded in getting the inside edge and onto the stumps. I don't know, based on the body language of the Barbados side, it would suggest to me that they have given up. But the score is 150. There's still hope as far as I believe. If you can get another wicket here, you never know what can happen.
Yeah, the body language is not the best. There's no doubt about that. In fact, it has been that way ever since Lawrence started his assault. But cricket's a funny game. And there we go. Slower ball, played too early. And good bowling by Allen to deceive him with a slow ball. And he's got him. But just making the point that suppose you just concede 2 or 3 runs in the over, pick up a wicket, then all of a sudden that rate goes to pretty close to 9. So this, in my view, is a very big over. And there's always the twists and the turns in the T20 game. Here we go, no batsman to come to the creases. One who's also played for the Wimbledon, Roland Cato. Big appeal for leg before. And, well, struck on the pad full. Mary Albert reckons he's got his man. I didn't get the impression that the bowler seemed too confident, looked as if it might have been going down the leg side, but certainly Albert had a big appeal. Struck full first ball. So that rate has gone back up now to 8.25. Long off, long on, mid-wicket on the boundary, extra cover on the boundary as well. Short fine leg and Backward point inside the circle. Another good delivery. So we've had 3 balls in the over. Just a run scored, the leg by, and the wicket. And that rate has gone to 8.8. These are the fine moments in the game. Now there are, 3 balls left. And Grenada would want to try and get a boundary here just to take that pressure off of them. They'll come back for the second here and we'll get it. Return is not the best. Fielded down and the long on boundary came across. Not really has been at his best today, Padmore. They're back for the second. So these 2 deliveries are going to be crucial here. He's had a good over so far, just conceding 3 runs. Here's Aline. Another good delivery. Good change of pace. It was wide, it was slow, and Regis was not able to get back into that. And all of a sudden, that rate has gone to 9.23. That's how the game changes, huh?
Certainly, Andrew. Pressure time.
Yeah, I think this is a very important ball here. If he can get a dot here or just limit them to just 1, you never know. Grenada looking for a boundary. Let's see. Last ball of the over. And another good and a no ball is bowled. Oh my golly. No ball is bowled. Well. Free hit on offer. Wow.
These are times of the game that you really wouldn't want something like this to happen for the Barbados side. You cannot afford at this stage to be bowling no balls.
Don't have somebody runs to the bank. No, you
don't.
don't.
The luxury of doing
So
that.
free hit is an offer. Here we go. What will Grenada do with this? Safely. They'll get 2, I would think. It may even skid onto the boundary. They may even look for the 3rd here. So, they got 3. And Aline just asking the umpire, where did I go wrong there? But it was a no ball, and these are the fine things that happened in the game. So, we're down to the wire. 16 to get from 2, the rate is 8. Advantage Grenada. So in terms of the options for Barbados, Padmore's got 2. Stefan Gooden has got 1, so I suppose he'll bowl the 19th. Sealer's got 2. Vaughan bowled out. So what are the options? Padmore, Aline, Gooden, and Seal. He's going to turn to who? Who's going to bowl this? Is it going to be Stefan Gooden?
That's like Gooden.
Okay. So he's opted to go with Gooden, who's been very good. 3 overs. No winners, none for 9. So you'd want, from Barbados' perspective, to have a very tight over to give the last over some breathing space, really, for your bowler. Grenada, how will they play it here? Will they look for singles and try and get it down to maybe 8 or so in the last over? We shall see. The game is at a very interesting stage. The equation, 60 more to get from the last 2. Here we go. But what a game we've had so far. Stefan Gooden with his off breaks. They get 1. Will they come back for the second? No, they won't. And they will. The return comes in. And again, this is very ordinary cricket for Barbados. The fielder on the boundary not coming in as quickly as possible. And they got 2. That's something that they got to work on. You have to be charging in there to pick it up to prevent that second. He was very slow off the mark, and they got the second. Chance for a catch. Catch not taken. Well, 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 they get two. Oh, my golly. Is that Vaughan down there? Just trying to check out who the fielder is. Youngest man perhaps in the side. Down to long on. Catch should have been taken. It was a dolly. You would have caught that. Have a look at this. In there for a long time. Let's look at the field where he is. You got to take that. And it's 2 more runs again. So 12 more to get. 3 balls left in over number 19. Here we go. Here's Gooden. Another chance for a catch. This time it is taken. This time the catch is taken, and he bangs the ball into the ground. So wicket, Gooden has done his work. He's picked up an important wicket, and the game turned inside out again.
Yes, certainly, Andrew. He came in, he settled this time around, kept his eyes on it, and took a rather easy catch.
Yeah, easy catch. And there he goes in frustration, banging the ball into the ground. But it's an interesting battle here. That's young VV, Venice Vaughan. So what do we have here? We've got a situation where 161 for 4. The requirement of 12 to get. How many balls left in the over? 2 left in the over, so just make the change. So we got 3 points. Oh, the change has been made. That's why I hesitated. On the scoreboard, it had 3 overs and 3 balls, but there are 2 balls left here now. And Josh Noel has come to the crease. Where's your money, Donovan?
I can't tell you, Andrew. This is indeed a nail biter. It can go either way, Andrew.
So it's 161 for 4. Noel has come to the crease. Stefan Gooden has been impressive. 1 for 13. Very, very good bowling from him. And elects to bowl round the wicket to the right-hander. Long off, there's long on, cover on the boundary. Mid wicket on the boundary. Now it would appear as if there's going to be a short third man as well for that outside edge. On the edge of the circle. There's a backward point. There's a man at cover. So 2 balls left in this over. Here we go. Will they come back for the second here? No, they won't. Bab's arm is strong, and they get a single. So the last ball of over number 19, and we always said that the 19th over is usually the most important over. It can give you a cue as to what has happened. So far, Gooden has done his job. He's picked up the wicket, and he's just conceded, 5 runs. So here we go. This is an important last delivery. Driven, just a single. So the final over will start, and the requirement now, 10 from the last over. 10 from the last over. Where's Tanti Morrow? Oh my golly.
Up and down. Jump it up
She's
and down.
up and down. So what do we have? The last over is about to be bowled. Gooden's last over was spot on. And it's now 10 to get from the last over. Can Grenada get over the line? Can the Barbados Police Force win this battle? We shall see. Where's your money, Donovan? I know it's in your pocket.
Can't place it.
So the options for Barbados here Rashid Padmore's got 2. Kadeem Allen has got 1. One would think he'll bowl the last over. And Gooden, let's look at these figures. 4 overs, no winners, 1 for 15. Brilliant work from him. So we're down to the wire. Cato is on 2. Noel has got 1. Cato with the experience of playing for the Windwards. Long off, long on. 3 men on the offside, saving 1. Last over. Here we go. 10 to get. Hit in the air. They get 1 only. Fielder done it long on. Took his time. Kept his eyes on the ball. And just a single. So, the equation. They require 9 now from 5 balls. 9 runs from 5 balls. Very good bowling indeed. Slow ball outside the off stump. Did not get back onto that. So 4 balls are left now. And 9 runs to get. And Aline using the slow ball to great effect. This game is not for the weak-hearted. Here we go, Aline again. In the air. Where is that gone? It's gone for 6. What a delivery from Aline. What was he doing there? It was hit over the long on area. That's gone for 6. A very strange delivery from Aline. So, it was, I couldn't quite understand what he was trying to do there. It was short, and it might have been called a wide as well. And after all the hard work, Aline might have given the game away. So, the requirement now, they require 3 runs from 3 balls, and Grenada, the police force there, should go on to win after a very horrible delivery from Kadeem Aline. It was a ball that was short. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. Have a look at that. And he just helped it over long on for 6. What was he doing there? Can you tell me?
I really can't tell you, Andrew, but that one was banged in. It just stood up, and he actually played a tennis shot, a forearm smash. It seems as though he played to what could only be described as, I don't know, Andrew, but something out of the history books here. That was a short delivery, which answered the treatment, and it certainly got it, Andrew.
Yeah, it did. I wonder if he might have been in 2 minds as to what to bowl. He's been bowling the slow balls very well. That was hit into the pitch. I mean, it was a nothing delivery, and it went away for 6. So the requirement now, the Grenada police force on the cusp of victory here against the highly fancied Barbados Police Service. And they've really taken it to the Barbados side. Just 3 to get. There are 3 balls left. And the odds very much in favor of Grenada. So the ball is back. Here we go. Single. Will they come back for the second? The return comes in, and they get the second run as well. So just 1 for victory now. There are 2 balls left. Very good cricket by Grenada. And when you look back at the game, the 3rd ball of the last over, I think, has proven to be, in many ways, the ball that has seen the Grenadians over the line. After that very good over from Stefan Gooden and a good start to the over from Aline, the Grenadians, I would suggest that in horse racing terms, with a furlong to go, they are 3 lengths clear and kicking for home. So, 1 to get, 2 balls. Here we go. outside the off stump. The ball goes through to be taken by the keeper. So, 1 to win. Scores are tied. Well, well, well. So 1 to win from the last ball. The last ball is about to be bowled by Aline, and the Grenada Police Force, they require 1 for victory. 4 men on the offside, saving 1. Here we go. Last ball. Oh! Chance for a run out. The stumps ahead. Is he gone? He's gone. Super over. Super over. Oh my golly. The keeper was brilliant. The return came in and hit the stumps at the non-striker's end. And Grenada up against Barbados. We go to a super over. What a battle here at the Weymouth Sports Club.
I told you, Andrew, this one was going to go down to the wire. I called it. The last over was going to be full of excitement, and it certainly lived up to that, Andrew. A super over coming. Magnificent work. Good thinking by the keeper, Albert, who realizing that he could not effectively run out at his end. He tossed the ball mid-pitch to young Kadeem Aline, who simply turned under pressure and struck the stumps, causing a run out by Miles, and a magnificent comeback there from the Barbados Police Service. And we're going into, I would believe, Andrew, our first super over of the tournament.
Yeah, here we go. It went through to the keeper. The return comes in and he hits the stumps. He's out by a long way. But, you know, when you reflect, Aline has done such a wonderful job. But that third delivery, the 6, really complicated things. But he came back well, because at that stage, they just required 3 for victory. And he was able to put together 2 dot balls.
Certainly, Andrew.
So that's, in the end, good work from him. So we're down to a situation where who will open the batting for Grenada? Who will open the batting for Barbados? We shall see. So we're down to the super over. And of course, stay with us for this. Oh, okay, we're going to just double check to see if that's part of the rules. But we shall see. Is there super over? Well, I see Grenada and Barbados, they're talking about it, so I would imagine that there is. I've got to leave you, of course, because I've got to do my show Mason and guess. Remember, I've got to go. So I imagine that I'll hear about it. But I can tell you, 172 for 5 to Grenada. Barbados making 172 for 4. And it looks as if we're going to have a super over. But what a game. What a game here at Weymouth.
Certainly exciting stuff here. This is what good, exciting cricket is made of. And I can tell you, the fans here who has grown by the numbers, certainly enjoying this game, which have gone down to the wire. Scores are level.
And there will be the super over. We just checked the rules, and we will have that super over. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens in terms of who will open. I have to leave you, unfortunately, but always a pleasure to work with you. I'll leave it in the capable hands of Joel Manning, who will describe it for you. And I'll be expecting a report during Mason and Guest this evening. All right, so thanks to you for being very much a part of this. Stay with us. The action continues. Situation where Barbados were able to pull it back because the Grenada force were really traveling with the pace of Usain Bolt. Barbados able to pull it back. But if this is what we're going to be having in the competitions we go forward, I think this has certainly excited the taste buds with a very good performance. And if Barbados get over the line, they've got to be careful with Grenada, because there are players in the side that would have represented not only the Windwards, but would have represented Grenada as well. Looks a fit team, and they've got a very solid opening batsman as well. So we've seen Barbados, we've seen Grenada, and we've also, of course, seen St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the 3 teams that I've seen in the competition that are very good. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So Barbados, they've had a conference. The Grenadians, they've had a conference as well. We're down to the super over. I'm going to leave it in the very capable hands of Donovan Lovell, and he's going to be joined by my good friend, the bearded Joel Manning.
Thank you, Andrew. Always a privilege and a pleasure to be associated with you, with your commentary. And I no doubt can promise you viewers this Super Over promises to be just as exciting as the game has been today. So stay tuned as we get ready for this Super Over. As Joel has joined me to describe what we can only imagine will be just as exciting as the game of itself, Joel.
Well, when we started this match, we didn't think that this is the position that we will find ourselves in as the sun sets in beautiful Bridgetown, Barbados. The first super over of this regional police tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been treated to some of the finest cricketing action there is on display in Barbados this afternoon. 172 for 4 Barbados at the end of their 20. 172 for 5 Grenada at the end of theirs. You couldn't write this script when things began, could you?
Certainly not. It was indeed a good start by the Grenadians getting the 2 early wickets of the Barbados side. But young Kadeem Aline, along with Dario Sargent, and then Dario Sargent along with Mario Albert, certainly got police up to a respectable total of 172. The Grenadians, they look really sharp in the outfield as we see the bowling so far for the batting card, as you can see. But the Grenadians were really good in the field. They were sharp. They dove around. They saved lots of boundaries. And when it was their chance to bat, they certainly looked the part, chasing down this 172 with a magnificent knock by Lawrence, who made 77 from just 39 balls, I think it was. But to get up to this total of 172 to force a super over is indeed a very exciting game so far.
Yeah, definitely a very exciting contest, an enthralling contest here to Weymouth, and the crowd has certainly grown as the evening has gone on, and they've been treated to some fantastic action here and some fantastic action if you're watching us via the stream at home. So the position of the game at the moment, it's been a tie. After 40 overs, they cannot be separated. 172 is what both sides reached, and we're just waiting for the super over to get started. You're probably going to wonder who might come out for Grenada if you're thinking about the start that they got. Well, certainly Lawrence might be somebody that you could expect to see at the crease, and maybe in terms of how things progressed for them in the back half, maybe you might see Shondell Regis or Campbell come out as well. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out for them. But if you're Barbados, who do you throw the ball to for the super over?
This super over, I am one that I like pace on the ball. Yes, even though that Stefan Gooden was really good in his spell, I kind of like pace on the ball as well. I'll go back to Kadeem Ali.
Yeah, probably based on that last over, just the one discrepancy in it for him, you would have to say that short ball, which I do believe is a variation that he bowls very often as well. You usually call it that tennis ball bounce, it loops. Batters don't really get a chance to get in. It probably just slipped out on this occasion, and hence why it wasn't what he wanted to bowl. But other than that mistake, it was certainly bang on the money from Kadeem.
Certainly he came back after that. He kept his cool, and he finished the over, and he finished it really well. The reason why the game has gone down to the super over. So I personally would have gone back to him, even though, and I'll say again, even though Stefan Gooden had a good spell in these situations, batsmen prefer to see the slow bowlers where he can just swing, and once he connect, it's gone. But pace on the ball at this time, I think, would have been better served.
Well, you said pace on the ball, but I can assure you it will not be pace. The ball, the super over here, is in fact in the hand of a Stefan Gooding. So he's going to bowl the super over for Barbados. 6 deliveries for them to get as most runs as they can. Oh my goodness, this has been a fantastic contest of cricket. Batting now for Grenada. It is Lyndon Lawrence as expected. Start short. Just a single off of the first ball. So it'll be Lawrence and Roland Cato to start things in the super over for Grenada. Just 1 off the first ball. Good stuff from Barbados.
Good start.
Stefan Gooding certainly bowled a good 19th over, and I believe that is the one that kept them in this contest. Being asked to bowl the super over, a lot of pressure on him. Second delivery. Can't get under that one either. Keeps it down to 1. So 2 runs, 2 balls. A lot of nerves out there, a lot of pressure.
Certainly, so far, a good start by Stefan Gooding.
The third delivery, though, a couple birds have come in to take in the action. This one is hoisted over the offside. Does it have the legs? It falls just over the head of the fielder and bounces inside, says the umpire. Signal 4 now, so probably misjudging there on that occasion.
Yes, whatever happens here, I'm sticking with my guns. I'm going with the quicker bowler.
Yeah, just an error on the boundary on that occasion. Coming inside of it, or just lobbing over his head. A mistake gone a begging. A precious dot ball. You have to think that at this stage that is absolute gold for them. 2 deliveries left, 7 without loss. It goes full, and that one goes into the boundary as well. So they're into double figures, 11 now, and 1 ball to go.
Yeah, certainly that one, give it a little bit of air. You normally push through these deliveries. That one's getting a little bit of air. And Lawrence, he just drove that beautifully. Long off, a bit wideish, and got the boundary easily.
Final delivery. And this one disappears. That is out of here. It will not be coming back. Goodbye. Sayonara signs off this super over with a 6, and that takes them to 17.
That's indeed a good shot by Lawrence. And I will say it again, and I'll say it openly. I find that some captains tend to make this mistake over and over. I've seen it at the highest level. I've seen it over and over in games where the slow bowler in his spell had a good spell, but coming back for super over, I want to see pace on the ball. It is easier for the slow bowler, for the batter to get the ball away. He can go across it because it's slow. He can get away with it. But pace on the ball, from the time you swing across the line of the ball, you're out. You missed the ball, no runs. So I certainly would have gone with the faster bowler. Nevertheless, they went for Gooding and 17 runs at the end of that over.
Yeah, missing his length on those final 2 deliveries and paying what you might consider to be the ultimate price there. Either way, how this contest swings, everyone has been treated to a fantastic display of cricket. Lawrence, he's certainly been the star for Grenada. A 75 when he batted in the first innings, and now 15 not out in the super over. And he's certainly been giving Grenada a fighting chance in this contest. Where does your allegiance lie? Who are you supporting?
Well, indeed, it was a fine A fine knock by Lawrence.
Yeah, just the Commissioner of Police there in shot there, Mr. Richard Boyce. Good afternoon to you, sir, taking in the lovely action to Weymouth. I do know where his allegiance will lie. He'll be backing the Barbados Police Service all the way, but can they get over the line? Can they do it here? Looking at momentum, you would have to say that the momentum currently is favoring Grenada. That was absolutely fantastic shot from Lawrence. Two of them going straight back, one over long off, or rather two in fact, going over long off to close things out. Momentum is with them as Barbados coming back out. What are you saying to your batters?
If you're going with momentum, I'm going to have to lean towards the Grenadians. You need to, first of all, put pressure back on the Grenadian bowler, whomever's going to bowl you over. So you need to start with a boundary at least, your first two deliveries. But as I said, it is a case where the momentum has swung one way and the next, and right now it's with the Grenadians. So I'll give them the edge to take this one here. And I also say a good afternoon to our commissioner. Good afternoon to you, sir, and your entourage. I hope you do enjoy this evening's proceedings.
Oh, we're going to wonder who is going to bowl the over for Grenada. Who is going to stride out to the crease for Barbados? I do know that Larry Babb has the pads on, and you would expect that he would come out. Who will partner Larry Babb at the crease? Who is willing to take on this challenge? Who could possibly see them over the line?
Kadeem Aline. I will go with Kadeem Aline and Larry Babb.
Oh, we're just waiting now, and it looks to be Darryl Cyrus that's going to bowl here for them. So you are correct in terms of who is going to pair Larry Babb. So the pair of Babb and Aline straight out. And if you're a betting man, that pair walks out for you 9 times out of 10. You'd probably put your coins on them.
You know you've got a chance. You know you've got a good chance of the likes of Larry Babb and young Kadeem Aline. And again, it looks as though this is a leg break bowler who's going to take it up from the south. Again, I like pace on the ball. For, this over, for any last over. But we'll see how it goes.
Well, we're going to call this one the trial by spin. And the question is, when the hammer comes down, who will the verdict favor? It's going to be Kadeem Aline to face. The sun sets on what has been a fantastic contest here at Weymouth. This has certainly been wonderful cricket on show and testament to what this tournament truly is. The Regional Police Tournament bringing together talents from all around the Caribbean. But right about now, pressure on. First delivery. And it's a swing and a miss from Aline, a precious dot ball. A diamond amongst the rough. I hear a bit of shouting. 3 6s or 18. Pressure on. Will Aline deliver? Goes for that one. They're pushing hard for the single. Just kept down to 1. 17 runs, 4 balls. Larry Babb on strike. The weight of Barbados on his shoulders at the moment. Can he carry them to the promised land is the question. Babb's first delivery in the first innings. He smacked to the boundary. Doesn't get under that one. And they get 2. 2s won't save them, 1s won't save them. The boundaries are the order of the day. 15 runs now needed. 3 deliveries are left. Everyone on their feet here at Weymouth. Another brilliant delivery because it has not gone to the boundary. And what it means is that 13 runs are needed from 2 balls. 2 6s won't do it. They need an error from Grenada. Can they handle the pressure? Can he keep his foot behind the line? Can he not bowl a wide? If he's able to do that, this delivery, you would have to think that it is game over. And a victory to Grenada. 13 runs, 2 deliveries. And that one does not find the boundary. So barring a mistake, it will be a victory for Grenada. And well, that is a run out. So Kadeem Aline, he has to walk back in. But it certainly pencils down, papers turned over. The battle has been won by Grenada. The flags are blowing in the wind. The horns are blowing. They're waiting for what is certain now, a victory in favor of the Spice Isle. It's certainly been an enthralling contest here. 2 games of cricket, 2 games of lovely action on day number 3 of the Regional Police Tournament. It's come down to this here. 2 many runs needed, 2 little balls available. And that is done and dusted. Game in favor of Grenada. They're celebrating. The water has been poured. And that is all she wrote today, ladies and gentlemen. A fantastic game of cricket comes down to a super over. And there's always a question of who handles the pressure better. Well, today the pressure was handled by Grenada. And certainly the first test, you would have to say, for the Barbados Police Service in this tournament.
Yes, indeed. Looked a good unit. They were brilliant in the field. They bowled well in partnerships. And when it was their chance to bat, they certainly looked the part. A very exciting game for everyone here who witnessed this one. I was indeed one that went down to the wire, as I called it earlier. The Barbados side getting up to 172. Thanks mainly to a magnificent knock of 77 by Mario Albert. Also good knocks from young Kadeem Aline, who made 37, and Dario Sargent, who got up to 28. But when it was the time for the Grenadians to have their chance, a man called Lawrence, he came to the party and he batted really well for his runs, and that was what really propelled them up to the 172. But once he was out, then things had looked as though the Barbados had a chance.
Well, they certainly looked like if they had a chance, and they pulled themselves back into this encounter. So the story of action here between Barbados and Grenada. Barbados being asked to bat first, 172 for 4 in their 20 overs. In reply, Grenada, they got that exact amount, 172 for 5. On to the super over, and Grenada, they batted first, 17 without loss. And well, Barbados did not have what it took to get those runs this evening. 7 for 1 in reply, a victory in favor of Grenada, and the end of what has been an absolutely fantastic day of cricket here in beautiful Bridgetown of Barbados. The lovely scenes as the sun sets, smiles in the Grenada camp, a few frowns if you are supporting Barbados, but all around it's certainly been exciting stuff and signs of what is to come in the remaining matches of this regional police tournament. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing the action to you. My name is Joel Manning. Alongside me has been Donovan Lovell and Andrew Mason. Thanks again to our production team, all those who played a part in bringing this lovely coverage to you. We'll be back tomorrow with more exciting action, but until then, goodbye and good night.